Stay present, man. 3.5 hours, do this together, man. It starts with us, it ends with us. KO, 3, 1, 2, 3,
This is no ordinary job.
That silver and black is different.
This is the silver and black.
It just hits different.
This is the Raiders.
Ride for the brand. The greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. May the best is yet to come.
I'm officially a Raider. I'm excited to be humble and hungry and get to work.
That's a big boy football, right? You got Moss. That's what you want to see right there.
The grit of this franchise sticks out. This is a historic franchise. You know, it's really important to me that we're a gritty team, that the way that they were back in the old days.
Just amazing concentration.
But why not us? Why not this staff? You know, why not this group of players?
There's a certain mentality and play style that's expected from different organizations. Right.
I just want to do my 111. I believe that leadership is earned, it's not given.
I feel like I've always been meant to be a Raider.
Throw wide open. First down and more. It's Jack Bish.
So that first step was transferring and challenging myself, being in an uncomfortable environment. Because when you're uncomfortable, you're able to grow. It's the motto of the Raiders. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
That's what we're going to be about, winning.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
God bless and thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Indeed.
Was the night before training camp.
What? Poetry. Poetry in the motion. Twas tonight. It was
Yes. Yeah, so tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow's the day the rookies show up. I think the quarterback show up, and also Max Crosby shows up.
Okay. Look, if you're gonna start with Max, it's okay. We can start with Max. We can start with Max.
Well, I was just saying that because I was really wondering if he was going to show. I mean, if he's going to be ready for camp.
For camp.
And he, he has to go in when you're injured and you rehab away from the facility. I mean, I'm sure he was rehabbing at the facility too, but you come in and you kind of do a check and make sure you're good. And I guess they got a plan for him on Friday to come out there and start getting active, and then the veterans come in, I believe, on Tuesday, and it's gonna get cracking. But he said he's gonna be ready. They got a plan for him. They're gonna gradually work him in, but he's all in. So I'm excited. I'm ready to get it going.
For the nation, while they come in, I'm gonna post a question. I want you to answer the question as well and give a good reason why. Because you can always say yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hyped are you for training camp and why? Just one reason. One rating, one reason.
1 to 10.
Yep.
Oh, I'm probably I'm like at about a 9. I'm like at about a 9, and that's because this is the dawn of a new era.
Okay.
I mean, like this is kind of what we've been waiting for a long time. Like for us to turn the corner. Like we've always been mediocre because we've been trying to build from the player up instead of the franchise down. And now we're actually building from the franchise down. Now I'm excited because that's what we're actually doing. So it's a dawn of a new era.
I keep asking myself from time to time why I'm more hyped for this year than other years. Mm-hmm. And the answer I keep coming to is, it's a 10. It's a 10. And the reason why is this is a different kind of hype for me, in that I do not expect a 10-win season. Last season, I actually did expect 10 wins. The reason I expected 10 wins were a couple of things. One, we knew we weren't going to rebuild because we didn't get a young quarterback, so it was going to be Gino. So we were trying to win. Two, Pete Carroll had never had a non-winning season, right? When we hired him, he took 1 year off when Seattle let him go. Before that, he was winning 10 games per season consistently. So there was good energy, good buzz to think that we would win 10 games. But keep in mind, it wasn't a rebuild because we knew it wasn't a rebuild. We didn't sign anybody. We didn't have a long-term quarterback. So my hype that last year was about a 9, maybe an 8, but for different reasons. My hype this year is in 10, 9, 10, 9.5, 9.7, put it there. The reason is the rebuild has begun. That's the actual reason. I'm not thinking we're going to win 10 games because I don't think we will. And if we do, awesome. But it's the rebuild. And thanks for coming in, Greg. What's up?
We have a better chance of winning 10 games this year than we did last year. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I don't think we're going to win 10 games, but not even without using hindsight, I would like even with Pete Carroll because when he said that, I didn't think he meant we were going to win 10 games. I think he was just putting his resume out there like to build credibility for himself, saying like, "Look, just believe in me. We're going to win them." Because what he actually said is we're going to win a bunch of games, and then he was like, I haven't lost, 10,
exactly.
I have
That's
10 wins, and then it was correlating the two, right? So I can see how that kind of got mixed up, but
I mean,
just roster wise, I think we just better roster wise this year.
Right. We are better roster wise this year, but I don't fault anyone for thinking that Pete Carroll was going to give us 10 games. I don't fault anyone for that because again, that's what he was known for. Because when we brought him in, that's what we brought him in for, right? We didn't bring him in thinking we weren't going to win. We brought him in because, hey, Pete, if you can work your magic and get us into the playoffs, great. We're not going to give you a ton of money. We're going to let you bring in your own quarterback, and that's kind of really it because we can't really spend a ton of money because we just don't have that quarterback yet. If Gino would have taken us to the playoffs last year, guess what? We would have been talking about Gino starting the season off again. The conversation would be, does Gino have enough to take us into the playoffs again? That would have been the conversation. But it isn't the conversation because that fell apart, and in the wake of that came this new regime, and therefore my hype is a 10 out of 10 because this is what we've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, what's up, Jack Kenna? What's up, brother?
Yo, what up, Jack?
So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm juiced. I mean, I think we have a better roster this year. I think we got better coaching. I think we got better quarterback play. I think we got better O-line. It remains to be seen what we have on defense, but I mean, overall, I think we're okay. I did want to play something though, real quick to open that I feel like sharing with the nation. Check this out.
I look back at that tuck rule versus Brady. I look back at that tuck rule versus Brady in 2002. What's your feelings about it this day?
They don't spell it tuck in my family. It's a different letter at the start of that rule. That was the worst call in history. As you know, instant replay is supposed to overturn a call that's completely obvious. That play was ruled a fumble on the field. There's no way you overturn that rule. I got traded a couple weeks after that game. Eric Allen, who just went into the Hall of Fame, that was the last game he ever played. Steve Wisniewski, that's the last game he ever played. Now that you bring it up, it still pisses me off quite a bit.
I can hear it, Coach.
Just in case, I thought you guys like that.
Just to leave zero confusion. Every time you bring it up, it still pisses us off. It ain't Tom Brady's fault. It ain't his fault. He didn't play. He just did his thing. He got an opportunity. Beneficiary. He got an opportunity and he took it. Right at that time. But look, no one had a chance. At that time, nobody knew who Tom Brady was. The refs didn't know who he was. They weren't giving him anything. It's just he had an opportunity and he took it.
It was more about us and less about him. It was like, wait a minute, they didn't pull the rabbit out the hat. So there was like it could have been me out there quarterback, and they would have just fought it against the Raiders.
Exactly. But yeah, just so people forget, we won't. Everyone's saying whatever.
Well, what's
Yo,
good?
Weber,
Flores,
what up?
what's good, brother?
Razors in here. Yo, we're ready to go. I do not blame Gino. I do not blame Gino. Though I know people want to blame Gino. I know the flip you off incident. I don't blame Gino.
Hey, you right. He did say blame him, but that's what a quarterback's supposed to say, though, and he meant it. And so I guess,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
he meant
if
it,
you're going to
but I
use
don't
that,
blame him.
if you, I mean, I don't totally blame him either. I saw the writing on the wall when they signed Chip Kelly. That was like the worst thing they could have done.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but I mean, when you're the quarterback and you say put it all on me, I mean, it's all on you though, for real. I mean, it just
It is.
is. It's
It is.
not fair, but it is. It just
But
is. So at
but
the end of the
also
day,
that's what they're supposed to say, because guess what? Saying do not put it all on me. That sounds even worse than put it on me. Um,
yeah.
and I would say, look, the man got paid. He got his money. Didn't give us what we wanted. He got his body beat up. So all is fair in love
Oh
and
yeah.
war. We move on.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care what he did to some fans and some this and some that. You know what? I did the same thing. If y'all was saying this shit I was seeing online, I would have done the same
Yeah,
damn
for
thing.
real though. That's what I'm saying.
Because y'all acting like the man is a human being. It's like, bro, I was reading the same thing y'all was saying online. And you know what? If you said that to my face, and I'd give you the finger too. That not every Raider fan would I be willing to sit next to at a game. Let's just put it that way. There are
That's
belligerent
real.
drunks at the stadiums, and I don't want to be near them.
Yeah.
So
Right. No, that's true. That's true. That was my sentiment. I was like, man, I understand why you did it, because the fans aren't really understanding the heat that you're under because you're being
exactly.
sabotaged by the play caller, and then you can't really say anything. No different than like Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham, he took a lot too, because we didn't find out till at the end of the season that he only got to call 6 quarters out of the whole year. Like he just kept his composure,
Oh
and
yeah,
he just essentially just dipped up out of here. So
dude. Even
you
even
know,
even
it is what it
even
is.
even that finger was still like a love finger. It wasn't like a complete. I mean, he was hiding it. He wasn't like it. It's just like
Right,
you guys are pissing me off. I'm trying my fucking hardest out here, and
right,
we all know there was one particular YouTuber who kept pushing this. Oh, Gino, this. It's like, bro, you're more of the problem than Gino Smith is. Let's just get that straight.
right,
Anyway,
right, right,
let's move on
right.
from that. So no, I got nothing
Let's
against
get
Gino
on.
Smith. He came, he got paid, he got his body beat up. He didn't do what he thought he was gonna do. We move on. Boom.
Right.
Um. So let's give a definitive to this question, this QB
Hmm.
question, because people are still talking. Tell me, Black, in your word, one sentence. Who starts week one? Who gets traded? and who starts season two next
And
season?
who starts season two?
Two seasons from now.
So,
That's the
so, so,
question.
so my thing is this, right? Since April 3rd, I've been saying that.
QB.
Yeah, since April 3rd, I was saying that Kirk Cousins was starting. We wouldn't have brought
Okay.
him in
So he says
if he
Cousins
wasn't
start
starting.
week one. Cousins starts week one.
Yeah.
Two. Who gets
Uh-huh.
traded? Because we can't have all three. Who gets traded?
Well, we already know Mendoza not going nowhere, so
Are you
there's
sure?
gonna have to be
No, wait. You wouldn't trade Mendoza for 3 firsts next year?
for 3 first rounds next year.
Dude, his stock is even bigger now. You can ask for anything. Dude, we can walk up and ask for 5 first round picks, and we'll get it.
That'll be tough. I'd have to sleep on that, because my knee jerk reaction would be like,
Nation,
"I'm sorry, Mendoza, you ain't even
Nation,
played in a Raider jersey yet."
this is your
So,
question, and send it to that YouTuber. You know who we're talking about. This is your question. Would you trade Mendoza now that the stocks are even higher? Would you trade him now for 5 first round picks?
I think we all would. I think we all would. I know I would.
You would?
For 5, I would
I
trade
wouldn't.
myself for 5. I would
I
trade
wouldn't.
myself for 5 first round picks.
My answer is a no. I think Mendoza is for real. I think it's for real.
I think he for real too, but 5 first round picks is really real. I can get a couple reels up in there.
Because the Bengals put it up to increase the years you can trade your first round picks to 5 years. They tried. Someone's trying. I wouldn't.
That'd be crazy.
So as I'm getting you're gonna go with AOC's getting traded then?
Yeah, I mean, if I have to pick somebody, it's gonna be him. I mean,
okay.
It just is what it is. He's the odd man out, and plus this is contract year, so give him an opportunity to audition for other teams and see what he can get.
Don't linger on that. That's the easy question. Don't linger on that. Get me to the next question. Question number 3. Who starts 2 seasons from now? Huh? Black, let them know. Who starts 2 seasons from now?
Well, my mind is telling me it's going to be Mendoza, but my heart is telling me it's Kirk Cousins.
Oh, which do you like more, your mind or your heart? Let's move on.
I like my heart more in this one.
Okay.
I generally don't go with the heart first, but I like my heart in this one because I think Kirk Cousins about to come in and win like 7, 8 games. I mean, I really think he's gonna win like 8 games, but to be kosher, I'll say 7. But if he win 8 games, we should run it back. But I don't even think we might not even run it back. I don't know.
Okay, I'll answer the question.
What about you? Yeah, you answer your own question, and some of you guys, you answer it too, chat.
Yeah, you gotta answer it too. No, Phil. What's his name already gave an answer? Frank already gave an answer. He said keep all 3. That tells you what he's thinking. But Frank, answer the last question. Who starts 2 seasons from now? 2027 season. Here's my answer. Who starts week 1 this season? Kirk Cousins. Who gets traded? AOC. Who starts week 1 next season? I think it is for sure Fernando Mendoza. I think it is because I do not see. I just don't see Cousins winning a playoff game, and that's the only grounds by which I think he will start 2027.
You know what, man? Well, you know what?
Cousins week 1 by next year. Cousins gets traded. That's what I said, That's what I said, Jack. That's what I said, Jack. That's exactly what I said. He gets traded because the stock is.
Who gets traded?
Cousins.
But we're not going to re-sign him just to trade him, though.
Why not? If they're offering you a 3rd.
Because he'll just go to another team. He'll just go to another team at the beginning of the year. Oh, so or unless you're saying he starts next year, but then by trade deadline we dump him.
That's what he's saying.
That's what you're saying.
Here's another option. That's what Jack's saying. Here's another option. We do the thing that we couldn't do with Derek Carr because Derek, bent us over, and we re-signed Kirk Cousins after the end of the season. Right? We restructure his contract, pay him a little bit more, keep him, then we'll get him on the contract, and then we trade him. That's what we could do.
That'd be the business move. We would have been able to do that if McDaniels wasn't trying to leave him in the desert with no water and tied up to a cactus. Like, that's what he was trying to do to Derek Carr. So, I mean, he didn't even want nothing for him. He just wanted him out the building.
I'm going to blame everyone involved in that situation because I think we should have gotten something back for Derek Carr. I think we should have gotten at least a second for Derek Carr.
Ray Flores, I was pretty hyped that we had a black quarterback too. It's been a minute, but Chip Kelly don't like black quarterbacks, so there's always that. That's why I knew it wasn't going to work.
Except for Dennis Dixon, I think his very first black quarterback.
Yeah.
Someday someone's gonna say, "Why do you keep saying Dennis Dixon? Who is this Dennis Dixon dude?"
Oh, come on. He said, David said, we don't say always, we don't say never.
We don't say always, we don't say never.
He said, and we don't say never. I mean, I'm tripping. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see what Jack Kennedy said. He said, I would say FAB, Sapp, and Moss, even in the league at their prime, will never Raiders again. Okay. Then those will be ready by 2027, Webb says. A lot of people are saying that we might keep all the quarterbacks.
Yeah, we might. The question is, we might. I've said that before. We might.
I think we get rid of AOC by the trade deadline, though, for sure.
Here's the thing, though. If this year is about installing the playbooks, why not just keep 3 quarterbacks? There's no reason not to. I mean, Cousins starts, but he is 38. So if you can rest him during practice to where and you can have AOC do those first team reps or Mendoza do those first team reps. I mean, honestly, Black, honestly, Nation, and honest question, why not? Why not keep all 3? We're not hurting for money.
Well, the reason why is because if you keep 3 quarterbacks on a roster, that means you can't have all you got to take an old lineman off the roster, or you got to take a safety or a corner off the roster. Like, I think we need those players more than we need AOC. Like, AOC ain't, he's not, I mean, like, he's an emergency quarterback.
No,
he's just an emergency quarterback.
Here's another angle, though. AOC is a competent football player. As a player, as an athlete, he's competent. But his mind is really, really good for understanding football. He can be a player coach. Again, is there any real reason we don't want somebody like AOC who can be because it's not like we're hoping Mendoza will get hurt a lot and whoever comes in should be. No, just somebody who can run an offense, who can teach an offense, and who can understand what the coach is doing. Why can't we have AOC be that? What is the actual reason?
Well, because if we look, it's like this. If it usually happens like this. If your starter get hurt, then y'all probably play all 3 quarterbacks. I'm talking about the Raiders. I don't know really about other teams. I just know that if our starter get hurt, we play all our quarterbacks. So the thing for me is if knock on wood, if you're with me, that if Kirk Cousins was to get hurt, just depending on when it is, that's what determines that we bring in Mendoza. Because if he gets hurt in like week 4, then I'm like, okay, cool. We can play AOC for like about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe like 4 weeks, and then trade him and then just ride with Mendoza or bring Kirk Cousins back, depending on what kind of injury it is.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron Phillips, good question. The answer that we've given is I've said no, that the most we're going to win this year is 8 games. That's about it. Thanks. Welcome in. I don't think I've seen you before. So if you're new, welcome. Give us everything you've got in chat, and we should be all good to go there. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I love the idea of AOC just being a forever backup for the Raiders. I don't see a reason why not. I really don't see a reason why not. I think that is a road that he would love to play. Now, the other side is there are a lot of people who think that he wants to leave because he believes he is more than the Raiders are letting him do. And by now, he's been passed up by 3 coaches. So
yeah, he said it. He the one that said it. Not nobody else said it but him. He the one jumped out the window on that one.
But here's the thing. Do you think he said that because somebody asked him a question and he has to give an answer, and the only answer you can give?
He ain't got to say that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He could have said the same things he'd been saying all the other years prior to this. Because this was the first time we even heard him say anything remotely close like this. So that's why I was like, he could have been like, man, we got a very strong quarterback room. I mean, I think the competition is going to be great. I'm looking forward to try to get a chance to start here or see how it play out. Or, he could have said anything, but he was just like, look, I'm trying to be a starter quarterback in this league, whether it's here or somewhere else. We already knew it wasn't here. So, I mean, so what else are you talking about? You can only be talking about somewhere else. It's your contract year. Like, audition. That's all that sounded like was like, oh yeah, well, he's auditioning from here on out. And that's what gives me reason to believe that he's going to get a lot of reps in this preseason.
Here's my response to that. If you ask me, am I better at what I do than other people that you think are my competitors? My answer is yes. Because again, why would my answer not be yes? Why should my answer be, oh, it's a very good competitive group? That's what he's going to say. He's not here to help a team just because. He's going to say, I am a starter. Not, well, we have a good quarterback, competitive room. Mendoza's the future, but no.
You're the 3rd string quarterback. You don't say nothing like that.
Not in his mind, he's not.
bro, I don't care what it is in his mind. He should know the reality is he's the third string quarterback. Like,
Well,
don't
again,
come in here. Don't sit there and say that you want to start. Like, you didn't have to
I
say that.
and I get that, But you know what? I'm with AOC on that. I like his mentality. That's I'm going
I
with
mean, I
that.
like his mentality too. Like, you got to have a starter mentality even when you backing up. Like, you should prepare like you're starting that game. I get that
Uh-huh.
more than just as much as anyone else. But I'm
I play.
just saying, if they actually, the reporter's job is to ask you a question and trip you up, and if you decide you want to go full truth bomb on it, then
Yeah.
you gotta take the heat that come with it. You should have just
Absolutely. And I will take that heat. If that means not playing for the Raiders, that means not playing for the Raiders. Again, I like
yeah. I
AOC.
feel you.
And it is precisely that attitude that's the reason why I want to keep him. He's the ultimate underdog. He is Batman. All he's got are a bunch of gadgets and tools. And when the time comes for him to pull that thing out, he's gonna pull it out. I love that attitude. So again, I'm fine to have him as a backup, and I wouldn't be mad about it if he becomes a Nick Foles and wins one Super Bowl because he's got one chance because Mendoza goes out 1 minute before the end of the Super Bowl. AOC comes in, clutches it. Guess what? I think he can do that. So I'm okay to have him on there. All right. Oh man, let's see what Chad's got for us. Got to push back on that one. So give me
AOC is
three
no
rounds.
longer a starter. Backup now. Who wants AOC 12 as a starter? Crickets. That's what I'm saying. He should just look. He should just go on and just be the backup here because
Okay,
Mendoza going to start next year. Kirk Cousins
absolutely,
probably going to leave. And then
absolutely.
he's the backup.
Yep.
He will be the backup, and not
Yes.
only that, it will be a good fit for him because it's not like we had to go out somewhere else to go get him. He's already in the building. He knows the culture. The
Don't reach
fans
out yet.
already love
Don't
him.
reach out.
So
Don't
I
reach
mean,
out yet.
like,
Don't reach out, Black. Don't reach out yet. Don't read it yet. Don't read that last
okay,
statement. Don't you do it? Because
don't
I
read
do
it.
got
I ain't gonna
something.
read it.
I do got something. Don't read it yet. Don't read it yet. I
Okay,
do got something.
I ain't gonna read it. Okay,
I
go
do got
ahead.
something though. I hear everything you're saying about my boy AOC. I hear it, but you know what he's doing? He's got a mask on and a knife in his hands. He's just sitting there, just waiting, because he knows when it's time for him to go, he's gonna be Jason. He knows what he's just waiting. Look, he's just going in there going, I'm the starter no matter what. I don't think he is. I think he was just saying, you know what? I did the same thing at Purdue. I waited, and when my time came, I slang it. I think that's literally what he's thinking. And I love that mentality because you know what? Mendoza, yeah, you're number one, but a good number one needs a number two that just let that number one know, yeah, you might have everything that it takes, but all I need is one chance to put my name down in legacy.
Man, look, he could have simply said.
Okay.
He could have simply said, "I prepare like I'm the starter," because that's what it is.
But he wanted you to know.
Don't go in there and say, "Hey, I want to be a starter because I feel like I'm a starter in this league." And we like, well, where you gonna start at? Because you ain't starting here. So where did that come from? Like,
You know
I
what?
love the mentality. I'm not mad at the mentality. I'm not mad at that at all. But we got to be realistic, though. He's the third string quarterback for real.
We have to be
So.
realistic. He does not.
No, he needs to be realistic too.
No.
Because that's how you end up getting hurt, thinking thinking you better than what you are, bro. You better
I'm
you
gonna
better
run
stay
back to the
within your
Dodgers,
envelope.
and I'm gonna be like, Doc, fix me up. I'm going back out there. I'm telling you, some people are dogs. That's just how we do it.
No, he's supposed to. No, he's supposed to.
Yeah. Okay, Jack. Cousins is just chasing a check. Cousins is just chasing a check.
Man, okay. He's chasing a check. He's chasing a check and a starting position. Two things can be true at the same time. I agree with you. He's chasing a check. You should be chasing a check, but I don't think he's only chasing a check. Not being like the number 12 quarterback all time in his stats, and he's got all these wins and
you know what?
4,000-yard seasons. It's not like he's out there playing 7-on-7. He out there legitimately balling. He's a baller. That's what he is. He's a baller.
I don't think he's checking it. I don't think he's chasing a check because I don't think he needs that. But I also don't think I think he's chasing Hall of Fame. To get that Hall of Fame, he needs to win a Super Bowl. He's going to. Well, here's the thing. Here's the catch. If Kirk Cousins is able to play in a Super Bowl game and win that Super Bowl game, it's going to really help his legacy, because when it comes to stats, he actually has that. He's thrown for 4,000 yards a season, 7 times?
Yeah.
He's got good stats. The only thing Kirk Cousins doesn't have is Super Bowls.
Yeah, or playoff wins.
Or playoff wins.
Yeah, like he has one. I mean, but that don't necessarily get you in the Hall of Fame either. I don't think that.
I
think there's really much he can do to get into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
He would have to win like 2 Super Bowls, like you said, or if he could take the Raiders to the Super Bowl and win one, that should throw him in there automatically with one.
That's my point. That's the legacy that he's chasing, because all he needs to do is just stumble into a Sam Darnold situation. Did you ever think that Sam Darnold would win a Super Bowl?
Well, no, but looking at him, I could see that it wasn't like out of the realm of possibility because he was in the playoffs the year before that. The only difference was that 1 year difference made a difference, along with being with Kubiak, is because the year before that they was on his head. The defense was on his head. He couldn't move. He couldn't do anything. But he was a number 1 pick. And, he might not have been the sexiest number 1 pick, but he was a number 1 pick. So, I mean, like,
that boy ain't sexy at all.
so now he's sexy now. You know what I'm saying? So all he got to do is go to another Super Bowl and win another Super Bowl, and he can for sure get into the Hall of Fame.
Okay. So Cousins is your dude, though. You like Cousins. So let me rephrase the question. And here's for you. But no excuses given. If everything falls in line, good team, good offense, good defense, good running back, good wide receivers, is Cousins a good enough quarterback to win 1 Super Bowl in the NFL? To stumble into one, into a team that's just like, boom.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have to say yes or no, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. All right, chat. Give us the answer.
I don't think it's likely, but I think if the stars lined up.
Let's reverse that. If Cousins was on the Rams, can he win a Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stafford can. Okay, we know the Stafford can because he already did it. If Cousins gets a Rams team, can he win a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
that's the question, chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would say yeah. Let me answer this one too. Let me answer this question by Ray Flores. He says,
"Yeah, chat is popping up."
Oh, wait. He said, yeah. He says, wait. So, this is by Webb. He said, so you have no problem with AOC's attitude, but you didn't like his choice of words. Didn't like his choice of words.
Why not?
That was my issue. His choice of words.
Word to words, though.
The words. So listen. So I need to find what he said now, so I can tell you exactly the part that I don't like, because it was the connotation. It was the connotation. Okay, hold on. Let me get it.
Drink a water. Get a water break. Don't wait for this.
It's the connotative nature in which how he said what he said. Like it's almost like a guy that's nice, right? Like you never see him argue with nobody. He's super cool, and then all of a sudden somebody be like, "Man, you know what? I saw you play fighting with such and such. I mean, like, what do you think? What was y'all doing over there?" And then you just all of a sudden out of nowhere be like, "Man, I'll beat his butt. I'll kick his butt." And then I'll be like, "Wait a minute, why'd you say that? Like, wait a minute, y'all was just play fighting. Like it ain't even a real thing."
Right, but the reason is he got tired of Raider Nation thinking he's just a soft guy who's never gonna win a game in this league. He heard you talking. He was just like,
"Yeah,
okay.
Right."
It's like, you want me to show you the guy who came from nothing to Purdue, starting for? You want me to show you that guy? Okay, fine. And he's like, Mendoza, bring on Mendoza. We'll be friends, but hey, we're competitors first. I like Mr.
No.
He's letting you know
should.
that mustache is not just for play. He's letting you know it's for real. It's Super Trooper.
He ain't
for real. I've seen QBs worse than Cousins who are Super Bowl winners. Yes, I think Brad Johnson was worse than Cousins.
Yeah, he had a defense though. See, that's the whole thing. If you have a defense, exactly. you don't have to be that good.
Who else have a defense? Jalen Hurts, I don't think is worse than Cousins though. Nah. I think Jalen Hurts in his.
Well, I don't know.
I think it's equal to Cousins at worst. I don't think it's worse than Cousins.
I don't know. That's tough.
Trent Dilfer. He was definitely He was one of those.
Let me see.
Trent Dilfer. What team did he win it for? Trent Dilfer was the Chiefs.
Trent Dilfer was with. He was with the Bucks.
Also, was he also the Bucks?
Yes. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. It's already queued up for me. Hold on.
I thought Brad Johnson was Bucks. I thought Brad Johnson was Bucks with
Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer was with the Ravens. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ravens. Yeah, okay, Ravens. Yes, that's what it is. And Ravens. Okay. Yeah, Baltimore. I thought so. Okay. Brad Johnson was Buccaneers. That's the team Gruden beat us with.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see here. Hold on.
Oh, don't worry. Chad's waiting.
Oh, the chat.
What? While we wait, chat, keep putting up your questions up. Can you guys hear it? Go ahead.
Can you hear it?
Barely.
You can barely hear it?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn it up.
Yes, Brad Johnson was tempered. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
He doesn't like AOC today. We're about to find out.
Now, here's the question.
You might just want to read it. Kurt Warner was good. He's actually Hall of Fame. Jim McMahon is not Hall of Fame, right? So Kurt Warner is good because he's Hall of Fame. So if you're a GOAT, you're just a GOAT. That's not.
Can y'all hear it?
No, we can't.
You can't hear it?
I would love to because you really don't like AOC, and this is the mystery.
Wait a minute, you guys don't hear?
No.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
We're about to solve the biggest mystery.
So hold on. So here we go. All right, here we go.
Compete no matter who's calling plays or who's out there. Your Sam Darnold was that example. Show up.
It's breaking out.
Most of it, or examples like that that are beneficial for you to understand whatever's going on. Just making most of where I am right now, and whatever's going right be down the road. Yeah, I think that's really the whole thing. Is
Gannon.
If you're around, there's a lot of guys like that that's been in one situation and for whatever reason find themselves in a new spot or with a new coach and things didn't go well someplace and worked out another place. So that's really my goal is to find my way in the league and hopefully be a long time starter. That's what I'm working for. It's what I'm trying to do. Who knows what happened? Who knows?
I like it.
But that's the goal.
See,
I agree.
Who knows where it happened? Who knows where it'll be? Like, bro. So essentially, you just opened the door up, saying that I'm really ready to go wherever. That's what that.
I'm telling you, my man ran up and kicked it and just drop kicked the door wide open. He knows what he's after. And he was looking right at you when he said it too. He was looking like right at you. He was like, yeah, I'm looking at you, Black. I'm looking at you. He said, I'm off the starting row. If you don't want to give it to me here, get me somewhere else. I said, yeah.
What's up, Pizzo?
All right, let's start the actual main event because we got to end at 9:30 tonight for sure. So we probably should start the main event. We're gonna do the defensive side of Gruden's breakdown to find out why Gruden loves them Raiders.
The Raiders.
Gannon is a GOAT, but Gannon did not win in the Super Bowl, so unfortunately he will not be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, unfortunately. That would have got him in, though.
That's the difference between him and Kurt Warner. That's really it.
Okay, this Raider defense has new leadership as well. It'll be Rob Leonard, former defensive line coach of the Raiders. He was retained and promoted, rightfully so. He's a hell of a coach. Who is Rob Leonard? Ask me, Jake.
Who is he?
Well, he's been with the Raiders for a few seasons as a D-line coach. He was with the Baltimore Ravens in 2022. He was an assistant D-line coach, linebacker coach.
Can we pause it real quick? Do we know who brought in Rob Leonard?
And he was with the New York Giants from 2013.
Was it McDaniels who brought in Leonard? I think it was. Wasn't it when he brought same time as PJ, Patrick Graham?
Yeah, I don't know who he came in under.
Yeah. Okay. We can keep going. If anyone knows who Leonard came in other letters, I think it was Josh McDaniels who brought him in with Patrick Graham.
I'll look it up.
He also brought in the ultimate betrayer.
He was an assistant
AP
D-line coach, linebacker coach of the Dolphins for 3 years. Then he was with the New York Giants from 2013 to 18. So this is his fourth team. He's been around some great defensive minds, and it's his turn, man, to take the torch and bring this defense back.
I agree.
Rob Leonard, defensive line coach, has been promoted. They'll run a 3-4 defense, but there'll be multiple. They'll adapt. They'll have many variations of their front during a game and during this season. They've got a lot of new starters in their front, man, and we're going to get into this load as well. They brought in an edge rusher, Kwity Paye from the Colts. They brought in 2 new inside linebackers, Nakobe Dean from Philly, Quay Walker from Green Bay, brought in a new nickel corner, Teron Johnson, a lot of new players. But since 2003, 2003, only one time has the Raiders had a defense ranked higher than 18th. That's not very good. So Coach Leonard is going to have his hands full, but if anybody can do it, he can do it. You know, this defensive line has been hit with some setbacks. I mean, Christian Wilkins, big-time defensive lineman they signed from the Dolphins. Some mysterious things are happening. He's out of the building. Malcolm Kuntz, young pass rusher, has 8 sacks 2023. He has a terrible knee injury. He's on his way back. And Max Crosby, he disappeared the last 2 games last year. They shut him down. Then they traded him for 2 first-round picks. Then they got him back for something. I don't know what's going on out there with the Raider D-line. They drafted Tyree Wilson with the 6th overall pick. They sent him to New Orleans. They didn't get a lot back in return.
Pause real quick? Yeah, let's pause real quick. Yeah, it's a lot of talking.
Well, we did get Jermont McCoy because of that pick, though.
Yes, Jermont McCoy also signed his contract today.
Yes.
Yeah. I think in a little bit. Okay. Patrick Graham. Let's find out who hired Patrick Graham. It was either Josh McDaniels or the coach right before Josh McDaniels. But that was
No, he's saying that they hired Patrick Graham first. I remember they hired Patrick Graham first, and then we got McDaniels. So really, McDaniels didn't get to choose his defensive coordinator.
Is that really what happened?
That's what he's saying. I kind of remember it happening that way.
If that's what happens, that's terrible.
Hey, Google.
No, that's not what happened. I think Josh McDaniels hired Patrick Graham.
Patrick Graham. Did Patrick Graham get hired underneath McDaniels? And also, did Rob Leonard? Who hired Rob Leonard? When did he get hired?
Let me explain why people are looking it up because I'm going to see if I can trust my memory here. So what was happening during when Josh McDaniels was hired is when he got hired, people hated the hire. The only reason some people like the hire is because who came with him. What was his name? The GM who came with him. Because we thought McDaniels was going to be a failure. But as the offseason started progressing, Josh McDaniels started hiring some really good hires. Like, okay, Patrick Graham was a good hire. We were like, okay, that's actually a pretty good hire. And then Rob Leonard came in. We were like, Rob Leonard, oh, okay, that's another really good hire. And then he brought in AP, and we were like, whoa, okay,
He hired both of them. Yeah, he hired Patrick Graham and Leonard.
And he brought in Antonio Pierce. And we were feeling like really good. Like, okay, this dude is actually bringing in some really good people. I think AP stabbed him in the back personally. I think AP stabbed him in the back. And I would never trust AP to go anywhere near the Raiders, but that's just me. Yeah. So no, you can dislike Josh McDaniels. That's fine. But this, I will say this, and you can write this down. Josh McDaniels will get to be a head coach one more time in the NFL, and he is going to show you that actually he is a good head coach. He just got sabotaged by a team consisting of a quarterback who had his best friend and a few guys who did not like Josh McDaniels as a person. That's what I'm going to say. I think he's a good coach. I think he got sabotaged by the team. I'll put it another way. Josh McDaniels, to me, is more of a Raider than Devontae Adams is. I'll put it that way.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
That's the evidence will come out eventually. That's just me.
Definitely not, because he got rid of. And how you go trade for somebody to come play with Derek Carr, but then get rid of Derek Carr like that?
Okay.
Like
okay.
That's the epitome.
No. That's not what happened. It's not what happened. He brought in Devontae Adams to play with Derek Carr, and they had one season together, right? And after that season, we realized Derek Carr isn't going to work. Because every coach before that realized that Derek Carr wasn't going to work.
No, it wasn't Derek Carr. Derek Carr wasn't the reason why the Raiders was losing. It wasn't Derek Carr.
But it's also he's not the reason why we lost the last 4 years.
You can't say well, we thought
either.
Bro, we didn't win games because of McDaniels was calling stupid plays.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure. That's why. And then he went back to New England, and miraculously now he can call.
Right, because he's not a leader amongst men. He could be a coordinator. He can't be a head coach. He's proven that.
So it's not his play calling; it's because he's not a leader amongst men.
Yes, that's why.
Okay. Do you know what makes you a leader amongst men? The men you are with have to see you as a leader.
Not calling plays.
If they band together and decide that you're not a leader, they're going to treat you like you're not a leader. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Antonio Pierce. We can wait 20 years, but we're going to find out. And I keep telling people what happened was Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Antonio Pierce. That's what happened with that regime. Their biggest mistake was bringing in Devontae Adams. Why? You're a brand new coach, and your biggest move is to trade away your first and second round pick of that year? That makes no sense unless Derek Carr was pushing you to bring in his best friend, convincing you that that's what you needed to win.
Oh, man. So you telling me that, see, this is why.
No.
This is why you're a leader amongst men, because how you gonna let the player dictate to you, the head coach, who you should bring in?
Okay, this is why. Because you're coming off of a really bad regime with the Denver Broncos, where everybody blamed you for doing what? Getting rid of the quarterback.
Cheating and got caught.
No, let me finish. Getting rid of the quarterback and bringing in whom? Tim Tebow, right? Remember that? He brought in Tim Tebow? Okay. The problem with that is when he got to the Raiders, Derek Carr was the leader of the team. There was no way for him to take that over. So what do you do when you go into a situation and there's already somebody who's seen as a leader? You try to give them what they need to be happy. That's why we brought, again, why would you trade your first and your second of your first season to get a wide receiver?
Because you needed a wide receiver.
Yeah,
because
you
we
can
tried to
draft one. You can draft
to win from the player up and not from the top down. Like we didn't have enough defense. We just didn't have enough cohesion.
So
He
then it
just
wasn't
wasn't a
just
leader.
McDaniel's fault. So it wasn't just
He just
McDaniel's
wasn't a
fault.
leader. He just
How
wasn't
was
a leader. That's what it boils
okay?
down to.
That's my
We
point.
can't blame everybody else and not blame the head coach. Like that's crazy.
You can't. Okay. Again,
No, you
listen to what I'm
can't.
saying. Because who did we get after him? Who was a leader of man?
Who?
AP? Was he
He
not
wasn't
a
a
leader
leader of
of
men. No,
guys?
no.
Go back to VODs. Go watch every YouTuber, every interviewer. What was the number one
Just because you
reason they
like him
all
don't make
said?
him a leader amongst
What was
men.
the number one reason they all said they should hire? Because he was a leader of men. Go look it up. That was the number
So
one
what?
reason.
They can say that all they want. It was proven that he wasn't.
How?
He
Because he
didn't
lost.
even know. He didn't. Okay, so you can say he's a leader amongst men. Okay, fine.
I did not
I'll
say that.
concede.
I did not say that.
I'll
think
concede
Josh
that. We'll
McDaniels is
concede
more
that.
of a leader. I think Josh McDaniels is more of a leader than Antonio Pierce. I think Josh McDaniels is more of a leader of men than Antonio Pierce because Josh McDaniels has proven that he can win amongst men. Does that make sense?
The head coach. Not being a head coach.
What does being a head coach have to do with it, though? What does it have to do with it?
Because your identity of your team is based around your head coach.
Okay.
And if your head coach is incompetent, then your team is incompetent.
What happens if you have players who tell other players that the coach is incompetent?
So you're not a leader amongst men of the
Just
players.
answer the question. What happens if a player tells other players that our coach is not competent?
So that means he's not a leader.
What happens?
What happens is you lose. What if you're not a leader amongst men? You lose the locker room.
That's not what I asked.
You lose the locker room.
I said
it's not. You don't. Bro, you don't just because a player don't like you and start telling everybody that he don't like you. That don't mean the team turn on you. That don't mean the team turn on you.
Why would a team not turn on you if your own players are
because you're a leader amongst men?
Because they're trying to take over the team, which is exactly what they did.
Bro, you can't take over the team as no player.
They did. AP took over the team. We paid him like $6 million.
AP didn't take over the team. We just put him in there because he was the Raider fit. Okay, fine. If you got to, we can squash all that leader amongst men thing. Forget it. I mean, he can be the leader amongst men all he wants. He don't know how to call plays. He had a headphone on and it wasn't hooked up to nothing. He don't know how to call timeouts. He don't know when to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, okay.
He just was a linebacker coach. He wasn't ready yet.
By the way, Josh McDaniels is already a Hall of Famer, just in case y'all don't know. Go look at his records. Not as a head coach, as a coordinator, he's already a Hall of Famer. Go look at his records. The dude knows football. And
he was with Belichick.
And by the way, our current coach has the same demeanor as Josh McDaniels.
Hell no.
You guys think a leader of men is someone who just goes out there and is able to talk?
Hell no. They're not even close.
How are they not close? Josh McDaniels literally has better records.
You want to know why? What's the difference between the two of them?
Bill Belichick.
Players actually respect Clint Kubiak.
Okay. Here's the reverse.
McDaniels didn't get respect from the team.
Here's the reverse. When players respect Josh McDaniels, he wins. That's the difference.
No.
That's the difference. When you respect your coach, you win. If you decide you don't respect your coach because of the way he looks, because he didn't play the game, because he's stupid, because he's this, you're not going to win as a team. That's it. Josh McDaniels is winning Super Bowls as he's done it as a head coach. Okay,
as a coordinator.
Fine. Okay, fine. Even so, does he? You
don't even talk to half of the team.
Fine.
You don't even talk to the half of the team.
Exactly, because the half that he does know do respect him. When the half respects him, he takes them to the Super Bowl. He takes them to the Hall of Fame. You guys realize?
Did they win the Super Bowl last year?
You guys realize that Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady go hand in hand when it comes to who was winning all those Super Bowls. Dude, what we did to that man was nuts. And okay, we don't have to argue anymore. Just in the next 5 years, when Josh McDaniels become a coach again, he's going to start telling you what actually happened, and you're going
He's
to
never
realize,
going to be a coach again.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
He's never going to be a head coach again.
Let's put a handshake bet on it, because I know why you say that, because he's not a leader of men. Okay. Wait for the next 5 years when we start understanding that what we've been calling leader of men, Antonio Pierce, is not leader of men. Just a bunch of loudmouths who don't know what they're talking about. In the next 5 years, a different type of leadership is going to come up. Somebody who has brains and knows how to play calls. Clint Kubiak is that.
He's already proven that he can't run no franchise.
Jack, trust me. If Tom Brady did not listen to the man who was getting him Super Bowls, he would not be winning Super Bowls. And Bill Belichick.
Man, don't nobody tie him up. They've tied Brady and Belichick together. And the consolation prize is
you hate Josh
McDaniels is the consolation prize.
Yeah, well, he has more Super Bowls than every coach we've ever hired. Come on, man.
No.
All right, let's get back to the video. That was a good one. I can also tell you one person who will never be associated with the Raiders again as well. That particular YouTuber that got. Anyways, let's keep going.
Turnover in the front that continues with the 6th overall pick just sent him to New Orleans. They didn't get a lot back in return. So there's been a lot of turnover in the front.
I didn't like that trade.
That continues in 2026.
Actually, let's pause again. We still got plenty of time. It's 9:02. Question. We got a quick question.
The Kobe Dean comes.
Were you guys happy with the Tyree Wilson trade, chat? Because I was not. I was not happy with that trade.
See why they traded him.
The what?
I can see why they traded him.
Yeah, were you happy?
It wasn't even necessarily a matter of if I liked it or not. He didn't seem like he was a scheme fit here. Now in the 3-4, I don't know. He might have played better. Matter of fact, whenever I seen him playing on Max Crosby's side, that's when he played good. So I don't know, really. I mean, I guess we'll know this year when he's playing with New Orleans how well he plays, and then we'll know what the situation really is.
No, I don't think. For me, it wouldn't matter anymore. He's gone. I thought for sure we were going to give him one more year, because
what
I've said for a long time, the reason why Tyree Wilson didn't become what he was is because, sadly, his primary position was taken by Max Crosby. And if you see the way that he played in college, the thing with Tyree Wilson, he didn't have a lot of football experience, and most of the ones that he had came from one side. So when you have somebody who didn't come off the game to let you practice on that side, you just don't get better. Will he get better with the Saints? I think yes, because the thing is, again, people are quick to hate people who quote unquote don't perform, but it's like, look at people's accolades and reasons why you brought them in. Tyree Wilson was brought in precisely because of his prototype. He's big, he's really fast, he's really long. We knew it was going to take him years to develop that into football, because guess what? He wasn't playing football since Pop Warner. The first time Tyree Wilson was playing football, I think, was the same as Kieran Crawford. So
he was the number 6. He's the number 6 pick, bro. So all that is null and void.
Why was he the number 1?
I don't care about
the number 6 pick? But why was he the
because
number 6 pick?
whoever picked him at 6 made a mistake. Like if he's all those things you just said, that don't make 6 that you would pick a number 6 person in the draft. That's a project. That don't make sense.
Okay, let's add one more piece of the puzzle. The year before Tyree Wilson, do you remember who was drafted number 1? The edge rusher for Jacksonville. Does anybody remember him? The edge rusher for Jacksonville. The year before we drafted Tyree Wilson, do you remember the edge rusher from Jacksonville? What was the story with him? So what happened with Tyree Wilson is the year before him, that got drafted by Jacksonville had the exact same story. Didn't play a lot of football, but had the measurables. Big, fast, twitchy. Just an athletic freak who didn't know football. An alien. Yes, Jack. An alien. Okay, the reason we drafted Tyree, let me finish, because this is where the NFL is going. Okay, remember the international pathway stuff? This is part of that. NFL understands that there are some people who have the measurables but don't have a lot of football experience. The experiment the NFL has been going through for the past several years is, if we bring those guys in, can we teach them football? If they're fast, if they're big, if they're strong, can we teach them the game? Not Trevor Lawrence. What's his name? Somebody remind me his name. Jacksonville Jaguars, the year before Tyree Wilson, edge. The guy who got picked before Hayden Hutchinson. Come on. Give it to me. Someone's got the answer. That guy. We drafted Tyree Wilson for number 6 because he was drafted number 1 for the exact same reasons. So that's why.
So that still was stupid, whatever the reason was.
No, it wasn't.
Because
it wasn't.
It was stupid because he didn't do nothing for us. The man got 4 sacks for us last year.
Just because he didn't
4.5 sacks.
Just because he didn't do nothing doesn't make it stupid at the time we were making the decision.
No, it's stupid to pick him at 6.
We
picked because anytime you pick a player at 6, he should start.
He did start.
Tyree Wilson was so that makes it even worse. So he started and didn't do nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
He started and didn't do nothing. Okay. So that means he was a bust.
Okay. He was a bust.
So it was a stupid pick. So it was a stupid pick.
That's
we shouldn't have got.
He was a bust. It was
it was a stupid pick because we shouldn't have got him.
The NFL is a stupid pick.
I don't know about every single one. I'm talking about Tyree Wilson. I ain't talking about everybody else.
Yes, it is.
I'm talking about Tyree Wilson. I don't know about everybody else.
The reason why is because you made a declarative statement. You're saying, quote, he busted, therefore it was a stupid pick. So Jamarcus Russell was a bust because it was a stupid pick. So every single bust,
I'm not, bro.
Picks.
No. Just because you can't, everything is not inclusive like that.
Okay, what
it's not inclusive.
Not a stupid pick.
Bro, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not about to go down that road. All I know is we talking about Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson should not have been picked 6, and he should. And we did pick him 6. And
so why should he not have been picked
for somebody that got 4 sacks?
Why should it not have been picked 6?
Because he didn't fit. He didn't fit the team.
He didn't fit.
He didn't fit the team. He didn't produce.
Okay, that's future tense. When we drafted him, what was the reason to not have drafted him?
Bro, because he didn't.
Exactly.
Bro, you could pick anybody and say, okay, it fits here. It fits here.
There was a reason.
All right, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. You can pick a player and make it make sense, but if it doesn't translate on the field, then it is not a good pick.
No,
that's all it boils down to.
The field is future tense. At the point of the draft, the reason to not have drafted Tyree Wilson is because he only had 1 good year at Texas Tech. We knew that. That's why he was a gamble. He was a gamble based on that 1 year where he produced. But in the NFL, time and time again, it's been proven that 1 year superstars at college generally don't pan out in the NFL.
Okay, well, generally it was a dumb pick because we ended up getting rid of him for a 5th round pick. Our number 6 pick, we end up getting a 5th rounder for him, or a 4th rounder for him.
I don't mind people being angry at things. It's just I want to know the reasons.
I'm not angry. It just don't make sense. It don't make sense that you get a guy
was there at the last pick.
That's like drafting Genty, right? And then 2 years later, we get rid of Genty for a 4th rounder or a 5th rounder. That's what that's like.
Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Here's the thing. Jack just said it. Jalen Carter was there at the same pick. Again, we could not draft Jalen Carter. Why? Because the year before that, Harry Ruggs killed somebody in a vehicle. We couldn't draft him.
Jalen Carter wasn't drafted. He didn't. It was those situations weren't the same.
Guys, we're talking about an entire city. We could not have drafted Jalen Carter. We could not. It would not have made any sense whatsoever. The entire city would have turned against the Raiders. Okay, and that's why. But speaking of which, Jalen Carter hasn't been that much better anyways. There was, but at the time, Tyree Wilson seemed like the best pick. And I promise you, if you go back and watch, a lot of Raider Nation, if not most of Raider Nation, actually thought that Tyree Wilson could be something because he looked like a good football player, sir.
Okay.
We could not get him. We could not get him because the city of Las Vegas had to deal with the fact that a Raider player killed somebody. And then you would have to explain to them why you're bringing in somebody who's been accused of killing somebody in the exact same situation. The mayor.
No, it wasn't the exact same situation.
The mayor.
One was a DUI.
The Raiders, you can't do that. You guys think football?
Either way it go. Even using hindsight, it wasn't a good pick, bro. It doesn't matter. Like
I'm not going hindsight because hindsight.
And if you want to use foresight, then you can justify anybody you pick because you got to pick them for a reason. So it was a reason why they picked them. So
exactly, and that's what.
So the reason that they used was not a good reason because it didn't play out that way.
Okay.
You can't ignore what did happen.
Okay, sure. So what did happen? Did he get a lot of playing time?
Yeah, he got playing time. He just didn't produce.
Okay, how much?
And then the thing about it is they didn't know was he gonna play. He was a freak, so they was having him playing DN. They had him playing nose tackle. They had him playing all over the D line because they couldn't find a place for him. Okay. So that's not necessarily a Tyree. It's not necessarily a Tyree Wilson thing. It could have been simply his development. We could have just not developed him.
Give me a second real quick, Jack, because I got this Jalen Carter thing. We need to put this to rest. So, Jack, let me explain this to you this way. You have a family, okay? One night, some guy drunk kills your daughter. And then a year later, a company tells you that they're going to bring somebody else who's been accused of doing the exact same thing into your neighborhood. It wasn't the exact same thing. Even if it wasn't, a car was involved and somebody died. Would you be willing to have somebody in your neighborhood because you think he's going to be a good football player? The answer is no. If you think you are, I would say I don't think you've been in that kind of situation.
The year that Tyree Wilson was drafted, who was the first? Who was the first round picks that year?
Was it a quarterback?
Huh?
Was it a quarterback?
So tell me this is not that year.
I think it was a quarterback. I don't remember. If it was a quarterback, it would have been. That was 4 years ago. Quarterback 4 years ago. So I'm sorry we wanted Jalen Carter. And we all did. We all wanted
Tyree Wilson the year he got drafted for the Raiders. Who were the first round picks that year?
We heard that story about Jalen Carter. We knew we couldn't draft him. We all did. We knew we couldn't draft him.
But I'm sure Jalen Carter was not the only player in that draft that we could have got. Like, let's look. Why is it doing that?
Look, hindsight is always 20/20. We should never. Again,
without even using hindsight.
If you always know what to choose, you would always choose the right choices. But you don't. That's why you make estimates and guesstimates. The reason we drafted Tyree Wilson is because he played really, really well in his final year at Texas Tech. And he was really young, really fast, really long. He fit the prototype, and we drafted him off of 1 year production, which, that does happen in the NFL. But that was not a mistake somebody made. It was based on good evidence, good scouting that showed that, hey, look, this kid has got something. If you give him good coaching, if you polish him up, he could turn into something.
But he didn't.
Okay, that's 2020 again, but he didn't. Okay, fine. 20 years
ago. So that means, how come that can't mean?
Okay, if 20 years ago you had dreams about becoming a $100,000 YouTuber, if 20 years from now you didn't do it, what does that mean? That you're a forever failure? Okay, no, it just means that
it's not.
You assess the situation, you made decisions, and those decisions were wrong.
No, but why can't it just be something as simple as we thought we saw something that was there that wasn't there, and we found out that it wasn't there for this team, what we thought he was going to do for this team,
right?
What we thought we saw wasn't there.
But it doesn't but does that conclude that it makes it a stupid decision at the time you were making it?
Ultimately, it was a stupid decision. You can sit there and say, like I say, you can justify any pick and say, well, we did it for good reasons. Yeah, just because you do something for good reason don't make it a good pick.
Here's a better idea. I think when it comes to people, you should always justify the positive. And the reason is this: just because you raise a son who becomes a criminal doesn't mean you shouldn't have had him in the first place. Seriously, that's
no,
terrible.
But that's not the same. We're talking about draft picks.
Just because Tyree Wilson didn't become a Hall of Famer in 4 years doesn't mean
I'm not saying he had to be a Hall of Famer.
It just means the circumstances didn't work in his favor or in our
favor. So it wasn't a good pick. It's okay. It's okay.
No, but you don't say that with like.
It's okay.
Okay.
Why? That's the truth. The truth of it is he wasn't a good pick, and it's okay because that don't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean his whole career is damaged. He could go to New Orleans and play well.
I'm saying the truth.
I think he is.
He was a good pick, and the truth became it didn't work out. Okay.
Okay, it was a good pick, but ultimately it wasn't because he didn't pan out. We end up getting a number six. We got a number 6 person for a 4th round pick.
I'm just a more positive person. I have a more positive spin. Yeah, we know. I know.
But just because you put the positive spin on it, don't make the reality different.
I'm the good Raider, remember?
that you are.
What? You think I have a negative spin about Tyree Wilson? You think I don't want to have lunch with Tyree Wilson? Are you kidding me? I want to hang out with Tyree Wilson. That's just me. I ain't got nothing bad to say. It didn't work out. If it works out with the Saints, then I will say the only Raider in the past 10 years I would not have lunch with is Antonio Pierce. And Devonta Adams.
I think Tyree Wilson is going to be a good player for New Orleans because of the type of scheme that they play.
Okay, I don't know their scheme. What scheme do they play?
Well, I mean, like how aggressive their defense is. They always have defensive players like him. He fits the prototype of what they do. Like even like Devon Diablo. Like Diablo wasn't really that good. But the thing about it is what made him good was he actually was in position. He just wasn't making tackles sometimes.
Right.
And then we didn't realize how good he was until he got hurt. And then somebody else was playing his position. And we were like, well, at least Diablo will be in the spot. So then when he went to Atlanta, he showed out. Why? Because he got to a different.
Do you have family in Atlanta? No. You got to be you got to have something. You talk about Atlanta a lot.
No, I don't. I don't like Atlanta at all.
Well, I mean, okay. Huh.
I do know a lot. I do know about Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, Shadi's asking questions because I'm trying to say I think you like Atlanta a lot, and it's good. Lots of good stuff comes out of Atlanta. Tyree isn't absolutely a huge man. His brain never learned anything. That is such a horrible thing to say about someone, Jack. Man. His brain never. Okay, how do you know when your brain learned something? NFL is so awesome because you need all the traits: physical, big, need skills, mental. No, that's not it. Trust me, if he's in the NFL, if he's in the NFL, I saw that question too. I'm going to give you a great answer for that. If a person is in the NFL, they are a lot smarter than you are in football. Trust me, that's why you are not in the NFL. And they are. Okay, till I get in the NFL, I'm not going to presume that I belong in the NFL. And trust me, I'm getting myself in the NFL. I will be recognized, but till that happens, if someone makes it to the NFL, trust me. They will murder you in football. They know football way more than you do. Professional and YouTubers are not the same thing. I can tell you something that I know way more than a football player. I know how to make a good video way more than a football player. I know Raider history. I know Raider history than most Raider players. But I don't know football more than any of them. Even the guy who plays on the practice bench. Are we being serious? No.
There's a lot of players that didn't make the NFL that are better than players that's in the NFL. There are players that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, because I'll tell you.
They're playing in the Canadian Football League. They're right here.
I can tell you what happens is sometimes it's because of academics. The player could be better than the other player, but since this player went to class and this one didn't,
Tyree Wilson has no brains who made it in, but there are people with brains who come on, man.
I'm using the example. Here's an example. Just the best players don't always go to the NFL. You could be a player that's better than another player, but if you're academically ineligible, then you won't make it to the NFL.
No, that makes you not better than the guy who did, because being academically available is part of being a professional football player. If you're not smart enough to get your homework in, no one's going to trust you to catch a football.
That's not true. So there's a lot of players that don't even go to class that's in the NFL. You actually think that all those NFL players that went to college have like college level education in their head? You think every one of them think that have that?
Every single player in the NFL has gone to college for at least 2 years. You do realize that's a prerequisite. You're suggesting that some of them don't actually get those grades, that they get people to fake the grades for them.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Why not just do the good radio thing? If they're there, it's because somebody recognizes their talents and they push them in the right direction. Again, it doesn't have to be what they cheated. They're not good at. If you are not in the NFL because of your grades, it's because you're not a professional. Being in the NFL means being a professional, right? That's what it is. And professionalism means a lot of things, including proving that you can pass a class. Come on, right? Any undrafted player technically didn't make it to the NFL until they got signed undrafted free. Yeah, exactly. I mean, any rookie doesn't make it to the NFL till they play their first, at least their first preseason game, right? Okay. Let's get back to Gruden. So, Jack, thank you, but less on calling people.
Come on, let's go.
And stupid and.
Then from Philly, 3 years, $36 million. Quay Walker gets 3 years for $40 million. What's cool about these two guys is they're young. They both are good against the run. Mm-hmm. They're very good blitzers. And they played together on the same team at Georgia. They won the national championship together in 2021. Big reason why the Bulldogs have those rings are these two linebackers. Both guys, I think, are leaders. Both guys can wear the green dot. They're very good communicators. Should be excellent additions to this ball club. The secondary is the biggest concern to me when I watch the Raiders.
I agree.
I mean, they had a big offseason in terms of acquisitions. They drafted 4 young guys, and they signed Teron Johnson, the ex-Buffalo Bill. Hell, they even re-signed Eric Stokes to corner for a $30 million 3-year extension. So it's going to be interesting. We all know Stokes is the Raiders' most proven corner and best player. That's why they paid him. He gave up an 85 QBR last year, which led to silver and black. But who's the other corner going to be, man? Quarterbacks, they ran Blue Kelly out of Vegas, and Darian Porter, the other starting corner who does return.
That was too meta not to stop that. That was too meta. We got to stop that. So he just said quarterbacks ran Kyle Blue Kelly out of town. All right, Nation. Is that what happened? Was he that bad? Did the quarterback just run him out of town? What happened?
No, he said the Raiders ran him out of town. I thought he said Raiders.
He said the Raiders.
We drafted Blue Kelly out of Vegas, 85 QBR last year, which led to silver and black. But who's the other corner going to be, man? Quarterbacks, they ran Blue Kelly out of Vegas.
So he's saying that
he said quarterbacks ran him out of town.
Yeah, but that's kind of what happened, though. Caillou Blue Kelly played better than Darian Porter. I mean, but how many interceptions did Porter have, and how many did Kelly have? He had 3 interceptions. Caillou started the year, right, and he kept getting beat. So they put in Porter. He's a rookie. So they put in Porter. Porter started getting beat too. So what they do? Put Caillou back in. That's what ended up happening. And then when it was all said and done.
Was Caillou?
Yeah, he was a rookie.
Caillou was a rookie last year? Oh. Porter was definitely a rookie last year, right? And that's why I think he was getting put in like he was. But I don't think Caillou was a rookie. Yeah, I think
So
we picked up
where do
Caillou.
you play for? Hey Google. Hey Google. Was Caillou Blue Kelly a rookie last year, or where did he get drafted? What year?
Kelly was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in 5th round.
Yeah.
He
23.
he got drafted by the Ravens in 2023.
Yep.
So they went to the younger guy.
Right. And because again,
But
remember last year we had a lot of complaints about younger guys not playing, except Darian Porter was the one who played the most, though. He did play. Darian Porter did play.
And he was garbage.
Yeah, he was a
which I expect.
Oh my word, he was a rookie.
Let me finish the statement.
Okay.
Which I expect because he's a rookie, but at the same time now, he's a starter now. All of a sudden, where did that lead come from?
No, we're saying he's not a starter. That's what we're saying. He's not a starter. At least that's what Gruden's saying.
He's on the depth chart right now as a starter. I get the depth. I get that the depth chart don't mean.
Okay. So
I get that the depth chart.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I get that the depth chart don't mean much right now, but he shouldn't even be penciled in as a starter. That's how bad he played last year. He didn't play good at all.
Okay. All right. Well, that seems a little mean considering that the entire team wasn't good.
So just because the whole team wasn't good, now that means there wasn't levels of not good. Caillou wasn't. I mean, Porter was not. He's not even a true corner yet.
Okay, let me use your own points to help. Then you said once before. Let me see if I can. That teams will find weaknesses in your defense. Okay, Eric Stokes wasn't the weakness, right? They tried. And then they went to the obvious weakness, Caillou Blue Kelly. He got run out of time because he wasn't good. And the only option we had there was a rookie who, compared to Caillou Blue Kelly, performed a little bit better. Either way, of course, he was going to get beat a lot because he was the only one everybody was going to go against.
Okay, and so what's the point? Right. What's the point?
What's the point is he's a
the
rookie.
Point is that he played. He got ran up out of the starting position too. We just didn't get rid of him because of the contract that we still got him. We still can develop him. He still got time. It's possible he can become somebody. I just don't think he's a starter right now. But I don't know. Frank, we'll see. I don't think he's a starter.
Yo, Frank, someone's asking you a question. You better answer that. Who's the backup linebacker? That is such a bad conversation to have. But it's such a good one because there's a lot of backups, Jack. We have a lot of backups. You named them, and I'm going to tell you which one you're missing because you're missing one for sure. The backups that we have do depend on the formation that we put out. If it's a true 3-4 base, then the lineups would then the backups would be different than a 4-3.
Man, we have
backups there.
Man, if them backups come in, we in trouble.
Okay, let me rephrase it. We have backups if you think outside the box and say there's a reason we're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Then you see, oh yeah, no, we have backups. I'm fine to spell it out, but I let somebody else explain it first. Yeah, no, Frank, that is false. That's false. Ah! Okay, it's not a big jump after number one. We said number one's plural, so you're talking about Dean and Quay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that, but it's not as big of a drop-off again. Okay, let me explain. I think the problem with the defense is people have been playing out of position. For example, I swear to Jesus, with good heart, if anyone keeps calling Malcolm Koonce an edge, I'm going to tell you he's only an edge because some dummy told him to play edge at 240. Okay, we'll switch it to a 3-4 because when you switch to a 3-4, you realize that some of our smaller edge players like Malcolm Koonce actually go linebacker or Will Backer or Sam Backer. You see what I'm saying? When you switch the position from a 4-3 to a 3-4, the team fits better. That makes sense? So, yes, we have linebackers. We have, after Quay Walker, what you're asking is, do we have proven linebackers? And the answer to that is no one is proven to their proven. So, we are trying to prove linebackers.
Malcolm Koonce can't cover, bro.
From a linebacker position, he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Here's why.
So what kind of linebacker you got that can only
one that's going to blitz from the same position, putting pressure on the QB? Again, if you're thinking he doesn't know how to cover, that's fine if you can scheme somebody to cover for him. Because again, in the 3-4, he's going to be coming from the standing up position, meaning more speed and more bend around the edge, right? That's what Malcolm Koonce is good at, bend around the edge. If you put him in the starting position, if you start him. What happens if you move him back and make him stand up rather than going from the three tech?
But bro, he was playing DN when he got them 6 or 8 sacks or whatever that got him the job to begin with.
And he got injured because 240.
So now the injury caused him to be out of position. Although before the injury, he had 8 sacks there.
Okay. Through the process of that injury, the amount of work that his body has to go through, being 240, to go up against 325 consistently, wears out your muscle, it fatigues you faster, and it leaves you more open to injuries. That's why positions do matter in the NFL. That's why teams are afraid of bringing in small players because, they get injured more often unless they are just freakish. That's what it is, right? At least it's a better explanation than we don't have any linebackers. Because again, what is the actual size of linebackers in the NFL? 230, 240. That's Malcolm Koonce, right? Did Malcolm Koonce play edge in college? Where did Malcolm Koonce go to college? Can somebody find out where Malcolm Koonce went to college? Yes, because the backups are going to be Malcolm Koonce in a 3-4. Also, Kean Sloan is also going to be a rookie backup that, again, people say he's an edge, but he's not an edge. He's not an edge. He's going to be a linebacker. Buffalo. Yes. So Malcolm Koonce went to Buffalo. The reason we drafted Malcolm Koonce when he went to Buffalo is why? Khalil Mack. Remember, when Khalil Mack got drafted, he was a nobody who was playing linebacker / edge in Buffalo, and people didn't know who he was till the draft. Okay, same as Mack. Exactly. The difference is Mack is much bigger than Malcolm Koonce. Much bigger. Khalil Mack is like 260. And Malcolm Koonce is much smaller. Okay. So I do think Malcolm Koonce will be good, possibly, but first he needs to not get injured. And I think from the linebacker position, he's going to be less likely to be injured. Yeah, but that's why that's the Koonce. That's why Koonce is, because he came out of Buffalo playing what Khalil Mack was. Yeah, that's why he's in the NFL. And he's good. He's good because, again, he played with Khalil Mack. Remember, he was on the same, maybe not on the same team, but the same coaching, right? So he got all the same trainings as Khalil Mack. He's just not as big and strong as Khalil Mack.
Or good.
Because he's not as big as Khalil Mack. Everything has a reason.
We can say whatever the reason is, he ain't.
Everything has a reason. Yeah, it is.
Okay, because he's not as good, because he's not as big or strong or smart or didn't grow up in the same hood or whatever the reason is.
Okay, fine. Let's break it down. Smart. You can't prove that he's not as smart, right? There's no.
I'm just saying, whatever the reason is, it don't matter what the reason is. He just wasn't.
Okay, so it doesn't matter, right? So let's say in this coming draft, we see a 240, 243 linebacker / edge from Buffalo in next year's draft. And we think
I'm not gonna think he's the next Khalil Mack.
Okay, it is your job because the team hired you to make him the next Khalil Mack. How would you do it?
No, that's done.
Exactly. Okay. No, hire me for that. I can do it. I got a plan. I can do it.
How you can't, bro?
I can do it.
Just because you weigh the same as somebody that was great that went to your school and you played the same position, don't mean you can get the same out of them.
I'm saying he does not weigh the same. I'm saying that was a mistake.
I'm just saying, even if he was the way the exact same, played at the same school with the same coaches, that don't mean that he's going to be the next Khalil Mack because of those measurables.
So why would it not be? What would be the difference?
The skill level. I think that's what makes the difference. The skill level.
Can he improve skill? Can you improve skill level?
It can be improved, but that don't mean he will. You know, players. Every player can improve their skill level, but every player don't improve their skill level.
Okay, what is the differences though?
The skills. Some players just got it.
It can't be the skills.
Bro, everybody's not equal, bro. I mean, like, Khalil Mack right now is better than him. Khalil Mack in year whatever he in right now is better than Kuntz ever will be.
Okay, here's a question. Okay, here's another question: is if you put Khalil Mack right now and Kuntz right now next to each other, and they both play edge, is there something that Malcolm Kuntz will do better than Khalil Mack?
What? Drink water?
Are you kidding? No, he will have more speed on the edge.
So what does that mean? What does that translate to?
Let's move on. Okay.
Well, just because so wait a minute. So no, hold on. So he's faster than Khalil Mack. So what does that mean? So who do you think will have more sacks?
Okay, who has more sacks depends on how you scheme them.
No, forget all that. Who will have more sacks? If you put Khalil Mack on one side and you put Kuntz on the other side, who's going to have more sacks?
Why would you forget play design? That's the whole point of football. You would never forget play design.
Bro, Malcolm Kuntz would never have a season like Khalil Mack, bro.
Guys, I'm the Malcolm Kuntz hater. Why are you? Oh, because you're the bad Raider. Shoot.
No, this is true.
I'm the Malcolm Kuntz hater. What I'm saying is Malcolm Kuntz could be good if he's not playing edge. If he's playing linebacker and rushing from the sand position, he could potentially be good because he would play more games. I don't think he would be as injured as often. Because you're right. He showed flashes, right? He got 8 sacks. That's he showed flash. But now, how do you translate that flash into progressive improvement? I think you play around with the positioning and the scheming.
So essentially you just go ahead and move to another position other than the position that he flashed at.
Yeah. Okay. There are many examples of this. Terrell Suggs. Big example. That's like one of the prime examples. He came out of college in one position. He moves, and the reason he moves because they told us that because he told us he spoke with Ed Harris, who was a safety back then. Again, you can go look it up. Terrell Suggs said he went to Ed Harris. He said, "I want to be great in the NFL," and Ed Harris says, "Okay, fine. Come with me." And for all of their career, they work together, they train together, they watch film together. And one of the big things that he did was to change his position. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he moved from edge to linebacker.
Hey, you do know every year, like probably almost every other team, they do that. And that doesn't mean that it translates.
But it can't. I'm saying we do that with Kuntz because Black, you already said it. He's not working now on edge, right? Why would you leave him there?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying he can't play linebacker like how you think he can play linebacker.
Okay, why? Because he can't cover.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, because he can't cover. Right?
No, even if you use him as a designated just rusher off the edge, even if you do that, because Khalil Mack, I didn't say. I'm just saying, even if you do,
right.
Because Khalil Mack don't go in coverage that often. So even if you use him the exact same way as Khalil Mack,
don't use him as Khalil Mack. He's 240. Use him as Thomas, the Seattle Seahawks linebacker, the guy that I've been talking about. You keep saying Mack. No, he's not Mack. That's my point.
Bro, I don't care who the player is. I don't care who the player is. The boy ain't got he got 4 sacks last year. So you're gonna say, well, we move him to to the Sam or the Will, he's going to go up to 10 sacks then? Is that what's going to happen?
So you got 8 in a 4-3 in the 3-tech, right? Yes, I think it can go from 8 to 10 if he plays out of the 3-tech.
Where you getting 8 from, bro? He ain't had 8 sacks
you
in
said
2
he had 8
years.
sacks. I'm saying,
I said 4. I said from 4 to 10.
From 4 to you can get it from 4 to 7. You can get it from 4 to 7. So one of the famous things positions for the Ravens the year we're talking about was their 3-4 defense. That was the one with Ray Lewis, and they had Harris and Terrell Suggs. They drafted him and then made him. I believe they made him a linebacker. Yeah, this is good debate. I'm more of a mediator, not a debater. I just ask a lot of questions, and then that just kind of makes people, let's get back to the video. Shoot, we gotta end. Okay, no, we don't. Give me a second. Let me check.
I think there's only like about 5 more minutes left on this video. Yeah, like 5 more minutes.
Okay, we do not have to end. We're good. My wife is already asleep, so we're good.
All right.
Darian Porter, the other starting corner who does return, he got beat pretty bad last year. Hence, we drafted a lot of DBs. Remember, this Raider defense was very inconsistent in 2025. They gave up almost 25.5 points a game. They were 30th in the NFL on third down percentage. 46.3%. That ain't going to fly against Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, and Pat Mahomes. We got to do better than that. They were okay against the run. They gave up 3.9 yards a carry, but it's the lack of pass rush that really doomed the Las Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby can't do it all himself. You set your whole plan to stop Crosby. Somebody else has to win in these one-on-one situations. The Raiders had a 28% pressure rate versus the pass. That's the third worst in the league. Al Davis would tell you the quarterback has to go down, and he's got to go down hard. I used to hear that a lot.
The production of this is pretty
good. These guys going to return from their injuries and be what they can be. I mean, Malcolm Kuntz, I talked about him. Can he return to that 2023 form? Max Crosby,
right?
Is he healthy? Is he ready to hum around the edge and be the force that we know he is? Nakobe Dean, he got hurt in that playoff game against the Rams 2 years ago. He had a tough offseason. He missed part of the season last year in Philly. And trade in Stukes, their second-round pick. He had a terrible injury in 2024, and he missed the start of the 2025 season. And then there's Jermod McCoy, their fourth-round pick out of Tennessee. He didn't play his senior year last year at Tennessee. So all these young guys, are they healthy? Will they stay healthy? Can they be great like we think they can? But when you look at the front four, to me, it all starts here. Yeah. That's Rob Leonard's background. That's where his strength is. The edge rushers is Max Crosby, and I think it's going to be Kwity Paye, the opening day starters. Crosby's play time is always high. His effort's high. His leadership is great. 69.5 career sacks. That's third most in Raider history already. He ain't no one-trick pony either. He's a very good edge setter, penetrator, good run defender.
No.
And when it comes to pressures, man, this guy has 360 pressures and the 69.5 sacks. No one's close to Crosby when it comes to causing pressures. He's got 29 more than everybody else.
My wife is
in the league. So we can and then over here, Kwity Paye. Who the heck?
So, real quick back on the scheme. So, the thing is, the 3-4 does have that. Kuntz would be an edge in the samples. It's just a different kind of edge. It's an edge starting from the up position. So what I've been saying is, and this is why you would do that, with more speed, because it's starting from the up position and more spread out. With more speed, you'll be able to get around the tackle quicker. So because remember, the 3-4 defense becomes a 5-2, right? When you're stopping the run, if you move the Sam and the Will back as forward, that becomes a 5-2 to stop the run. So, I'm telling you, I like Kwity Paye. I think people are definitely sleeping on Kwity Paye. I think Red Nation is sleeping on Kwity Paye.
Well, I don't know. Kwity Paye gotta prove something himself because his production went down. That's why they got rid of him.
No, that's not why they got rid of him.
They did get rid of him because he stopped getting sacks, and then because he started losing playing time.
Only sacks, only because he couldn't get sacks. That's the.
I'm not. Sure, I don't know. I'm sure it's more than one reason, but
So
the primary reason is because he went from having 8 sacks to 4 sacks, and they got somebody younger in there. He was a first round pick. Like he's not playing that.
Why did we get him then? Why are we paying?
Because we didn't have nobody else. Who else were we going to put there? Kuntz?
Okay, so we're
who was we going to put there? Kuntz?
So we went and bought trash because okay. No, I see it.
No, we bought we paid for the best of the free agents that was out there.
Here's what I say. Here's my thoughts on this. Because we got Kwity Paye because when we put him in our defense with Max Crosby and what he does, I think we can get him back to getting around 8 sacks. That's why we got Kwity Paye. And I think when we got him,
there was no Max Crosby. When we got him, he was supposed to replace Max Crosby.
Different side, but sure. Yeah,
he can play anywhere on the line. That's what he touts. He can play anywhere on the D line. So whether he played on one side,
Max Crosby can't. Max Crosby can only play the left side.
Max Crosby played all over the field last year.
Max Crosby only plays the left side.
Max Crosby played. He lined up.
90% of Max Crosby's lineup are on the left.
That's fine.
That's it.
That's fine. Okay. So but what does that mean? He was gone. So whether he was on the left side or whatever side, Kwity Paye was supposed to come in and be the person on the D line that was the Max Crosby. That's not to say he was supposed to produce like Max Crosby or whatever. He was supposed to be the player. Now, the thing that he does well is he sets the edge. But as far as getting to the quarterback, he doesn't get to the quarterback like he used to.
He weighs 260 pounds, dude. Come on,
bro.
Man.
Regardless of what the reason was, he was doing it at one point. He's not doing it now. That's the difference. So hence, when you become a free agent, they let you go.
You're gonna ride and die for Cousins, who did it at one point but doesn't do it now, at age of 38. But you won't ride and die for Kwity Paye,
bro? No, because Kirk Cousins did it last year. He started 8 games. He won 5 of them.
And Kwity Paye last year. That tells me was one of the best defenders on the Colts. Kwity Paye last year was what stopped.
No, he wasn't.
Kwity Paye last year was top 3 best defender for the Colts.
No, Kwity Paye started losing playing time last year.
Okay, because you're telling me we paid for stupid, and I don't think we paid for stupid. I think
I didn't say that. You're saying that. I didn't say we paid for stupid. I said we paid for.
I'm saying we paid because of the way he played last season. You're saying that it's
no, we didn't.
I'm saying that sacks isn't the only thing that we were looking at.
Bro, I said he lost his job because he stopped getting sacks.
That's not why he lost his job. No, he did not. First of all, he did not
lose his job. Why did Indianapolis get rid of him then?
Okay, because Indianapolis had a lot of money. They had to move around. They had to sign Alex, their wide receiver, the top wide receiver, who they were going to pay 40. I think they gave him $30 million per year. It was a decision of what was most important. Kwity Paye was not the only person of the Colts who left last year. They just couldn't sign all of them. And they're also in a rebuild situation. They don't even know what their quarterback situation, and they have to pay their quarterback too.
Bro, you take care of your edge rushers, no matter what, bro. If your edge rusher is him,
tell that to the Cowboys. Tell that to the Cowboys. Because Jerry Jones is like, Michael Parsons, you want him? Yeah, you can have him. No, that's not how this works. Come on, man. We know that's not how this works. We signed Kwity Paye because he's a good player, not because he's declined. That's not why you give him a contract because he's declined. No, we give him a contract because he's a good player. Okay. Anything else on Kwity Paye? Hey, you defend your man. I defend mine. Right? We had a whole.
I know Kwity Paye is garbage right now. Quiddy Pay only got 30 sacks his whole career.
So is Max Crosby.
Right, I said right now, Quiddy Pay he's not. He has a lot to prove this year.
Okay, how many years has it been in the NFL? 4 years.
This man only got 30. He got like 30 sacks. Bro.
Okay, and how many years? In 4 years in the NFL?
Okay,
you're telling me you're telling me he's averaging 7 to 8 sacks per year, weighing 260, and that's not good enough?
How many sacks did he have last year, bro? How many sacks did he have last year?
Stop falling.
No, I'm just asking a question. How many sacks did he have last year?
It's not about
sacks. I bet you if you look up his stats right now, he rated low in not just sacks. He rated low overall.
No, he doesn't.
Overall, PFF, he rated.
Then look it up.
I already looked it up.
Okay, give.
I did. I literally did a breakdown of Quiddy Pay already.
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't even know who he was.
I did.
And the reason why he ended up leaving Indy is because they brought somebody else in younger that was producing more.
Who was the person they brought in?
I don't know. I don't know anything, but I'm about to find out for you right now because you seem to think that they just let their edge rusher just walk out because
we did. Didn't we trick Khalil Mack? Again, why are you thinking?
Yeah, but you
the crazy things.
Come on, bro. You're not. Come on.
Why did we let
you
go?
Know why they got rid of? Why they got rid of him?
Okay, why did we let go of Robert Spillane? Because he was bad.
Because they wasn't going to pay him the money to be a tackle from behind guy.
And the Colts didn't keep Quiddy Pay because they didn't want to pay him what he deserved. Come on, man. No,
how does he deserve anything when he was okay? All right, whatever.
Hell is Quiddy Pay, former first-round pick out of Michigan. Had some nice years in the Colts. 30 and a half sacks in 74 games. Last year, his production was down. He had one of the worst.
Did you not just hear what he just said? Last year, his production was down.
Bro,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
90% of the NFL.
Bro, that's fine. You can say that. You can say that. You can say that. But we're talking about Quiddy Pay. I'm talking about the reason why Indianapolis got rid of him is because his production went down. That's all I said.
Makes sense. That means that we bought him because his production went down. Is that why we paid for him?
No, we bought him because we didn't have no other options.
So we bought somebody
who else was we going to sign?
Went down. Okay.
No, we signed him because.
I do not think John Spivak will pay $20 million per year to somebody who's because his production went down. We just need somebody there. I really don't.
We did. Who else were we going to put there? Who else were we going to put there?
We'll just wait to see how he plays. We'll wait to see how he plays. Outside of
who else were we going to put there?
Keon Crawford that we drafted. We could have put anybody there. We could have not gotten anybody. I'm saying
we could have put anybody there
because he's good at what he does. And what he does isn't to get sacks. Not every edge in the NFL gets sacks.
I didn't say that.
But we Quiddy Pay. That's
what I'm saying is he came into the league and he was getting 8 sacks. And then when you go from 8 sacks to 4 sacks, that's a problem.
When you go from 8 sacks to 4 sacks, literally,
that's a problem.
When you lose 4 sacks in an entire season, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
What's the problem?
Yes, that's a big problem. Because your production just went down by what, 50%?
So because you didn't get 3, you lost 4 turnovers for your entire team. That's why they didn't sign you. That doesn't make sense.
Bro, I told you why. Because they had other players that was younger and they were producing as much as he was producing.
Okay.
So why would you pay him more money when you got a player that's younger that's doing the same thing that he's doing? Who's to say Quiddy Pay?
What's his name? Because they couldn't be playing the same position if Quiddy Pay was playing all season. Are we talking the same position?
All right.
Who is this person?
Quiddy Pay. They just let Quiddy Pay go because I don't know, because they're stupid.
Who is this person? Because Quiddy Pay was a
I don't know. I'm not on there. I don't know their roster. But what I do know is
the same position.
Okay. All right. Well, they got rid of them because they're stupid. They got rid of them because they're stupid.
That is exactly what his agent told the Raiders. That's exactly what I would have told it.
We overpaying for Quiddy Pay and everything. Just like we overpaying for our linebackers.
We overpay for Quiddy. Okay.
We overpay for all of our free agents, really. Like all of our free agents, we overpaid for.
We overpaid for one player.
We overpaid for both of our linebackers.
No, we didn't. We did not overpay for our linebackers. How? Black. How much you think we made them top of the market? We didn't make anybody. The only person we made top of the market was Tyler Lindenbaum.
Okay.
Yeah. What are we talking about? We didn't sign anybody for anything higher than they deserved. Only Tyler Lindenbaum set the market.
Okay.
Okay, so you just don't believe in okay. Okay, you don't believe in the people we're signing because you think we're paying too much.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
So then why did we pay
all
too
I
much?
All I said was we overpaid for all of our free agents. We overpaid for Tyler Lindenbaum. Let me finish.
Okay.
We overpaid for Tyler Lindenbaum. We definitely overpaid for Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
Because he don't even finish seasons, and we threw him the bag. We threw him the bag.
That's not how you make decisions. Sorry, I'm cutting you. That's not how you make decisions. Oh, he didn't play all season. Don't give him a okay.
Bro, I didn't say don't give him a contract. I'm saying don't give him extra money than he was.
And we didn't.
Worth.
Didn't. How could you?
All right.
How could we? How could we? Explain. How many more millions did we give him than he deserves?
Do you know what his contract is?
Yes, he has a 3-year contract. He's getting
how
paid,
much was it?
I think he's getting like $12 million per year, or maybe 15. Guys,
hold on. Let's finish the video. Let's just finish the video first, and then we can get into that.
There's actual ways to know if a team overpays for a player. It depends on if you're making that player the top paid in their position. And the only person we did that with was Lindenbaum.
That's not how that. Bro, you don't
overpay for a player that you don't like. That's what you think.
No, I don't even know him to like him. All I know is
you judge if it's an overpay.
If you got an injury-prone player and you pay him like he's not injury-prone, you're overpaying for the player.
How would you pay? Okay, what's the pay for injury-prone? What's the pay for that?
The same way you pay. What's his name? Who we was just talking about? Kuntz.
Guys, I'm sorry. Let me cut him off. The NFL will not let you underpay players because you think they're injury prone.
What are you talking about? The NFL don't determine your contract. What do you mean?
They don't? Oh, they don't? So you think you think Nakobe Dean's agent is going to go for the argument of we're going to pay your player less because it's injury prone?
I didn't say pay him less. See, you keep adding stuff that I didn't say.
You didn't.
Okay. If he made $12 million last year, if he made $12 million last year, I don't mean pay him $17 million this year.
Okay, why not?
That's overpaying.
Why is that overpaying?
Because especially if he didn't even play all the games last year.
Wait.
Like so you're paying him to play the whole season. You're not paying him to play 12 games.
They're paid? A player needs to play the entire season to get paid.
That's not what I said. Why are you changing what I'm saying, bro?
What are you saying?
Just listen. If you pay a player to play 17 games and you pay them $12 million.
In the NFL, you don't play players to play 17 games. You pay them to play football. Part of you paying them is they might get injured. What are we talking about here? You're telling me you do contract by saying, so how many games is your agent gonna play for us this year? Please, chat. Somebody clarify.
You don't pay a player to not play the whole season. You're anticipating that he plays the whole year. Do you not?
No, you do not.
Do you not? Do you? You don't. So you pay a starter. So you pay a starter money, although he's not going to play all the games.
How do you know he's not going to play all the games? You play them based on their skill
by his history. What do you mean?
I promise you.
The same way you pay a player more based on what their numbers were. If you have a player that comes in and he plays
numbers last year than the year before. Did Nico Beatty have better numbers last year than the year before? If you want to pay Kwity Paye less because he had worse numbers than last year, then obviously you got to pay Nico Beatty more. Don't
Why
you?
did
Because he had
Indianapolis
better
get rid of
numbers
Kwity
than
Paye?
last year, right? Nico Beatty had better numbers this year than last year, right? So he earned it. Come on, man.
Kwity Paye for Indianapolis. Why did they get rid of him?
You're asking Google why Nico Beatty got rid of a player?
No,
You're
bro,
asking
I'm
the
just
computer.
asking. Bro, I'm asking him why he got. What was Kwity Paye's contract last year? That's what I'm asking, bro. I can't even. I'm not even getting out my point, which is fine. Look, if that's how you feel, that if that's how it goes, that's cool. That's fine. All I'm saying is this: we overpaid for both of our linebackers.
Then that's false.
We overpaid. We overpaid for. Overpaid for Kwity Paye.
Okay,
We overpaid for.
Prove it. Stop saying we do it. Prove
Let
it.
me. If you let me finish talking, I can.
But you keep saying
You keep cutting me. You keep cutting me off.
Okay, I will
You
give you
keep cutting me
5 minutes.
off.
I will give you 5 minutes nonstop.
I don't need 5 minutes. I don't need 5 minutes. I just need not to be cut off when I'm talking, period, because I'm letting you get yours off. I'm letting you get it off what you're saying. And I'm just telling you, look, if you want to look at these guys' contracts from this year to last year, and if you can't tell, and if you don't see that the Raiders, part of the reason why we gave them more money.
I don't see it.
Part of the reason why we gave them more money is because we had the money to spend. No different than just like Tyler Lynn.
That's false. You know why that's false? Because you need Spytek to tell you that. Did Spytek tell you that, or are you saying that that's what you're saying that's what you would do? Right.
Okay. You won't let me tell. You won't let me tell you because as soon as I get half the phrase out, you won't let me land the plane. Because you can't tell me that we didn't give Tyler Lindenbaum extra money because we had the money. You can't tell me that.
We paid. Okay, can I answer, or do you want to finish first?
I was finished.
Okay, we paid Tyler Lindenbaum, but we paid him because every team in the NFL was wanting him, meaning that his agent had what it took to demand more money, because that's what happens when a player like Tyler Lindenbaum comes out. You have to pay them more because every NFL team wants them. Guess what? Other teams wanted Kwity Paye, other teams wanted Nico Beatty, and other teams wanted Quay Walker. That's why we paid them what we paid them, because that's what they deserved. Now, Tyler Lindenbaum got way more.
How do you determine? How do you determine that?
What do you mean?
How do you determine what they're? How do you determine what they're worth?
You determine what they're worth based on what the NFL tells you they're worth by their agents. Well, you think
so? The agent walk in there and says, "My player is worth this amount of money," and you say based on what? And then you say based on what? And then what do you say?
Tell you based on what? And if you pay that, that means you believe that yes, the player is worth that. Kwity Paye, Nakobe Dean, Walker are worth.
Why did Kwity Paye get released from Indianapolis Colts last year?
He wasn't released. His contract ran out. My God.
Who are you talking about?
Kwity Paye. He wasn't released.
You just said he was released, bro. Like, why are you arguing something that
his contract ran out?
Bro,
he wasn't released.
Okay, all right. So, what did he make last year then?
It was on a rookie contract.
What did he make last year? Is the question.
Okay, what does an edge make in rookie? Because that contract is set.
No, what was his contract? You act like all these players make the same money. They don't all make the same money.
Black, listen to me. Yes, they do. For rookies, the contracts are set. Everyone in that position, unless you are like top 10, you make the same. So he made the same, and Edge would make in his position with where he was drafted. His contract was set. So rookies, their contract is set for 4 years, right? And then you get a 5th-year option if they are first-round picks. Yes, he made $13 million last year. How much is he making now? Let's look at this overpay. What is this overpay we're talking about? He went from $13 million last year, and now he's getting what? NFL NJ Fame. Please look that up. This is how you determine overpay, by the way. This is it. This is right here. This is how you do it. So he made $13 million last year. What are we paying him this year? And remember, he wasn't a rookie contract.
Don't just answer the question. Answer your own question.
Went from 13 to 16.
No, bro, no. Just answer. You answer the question. What? So you tell me, what is he making now?
$16 million. He went from 13 to 16 from a rookie contract. That is not an overpay.
All right, if you say so.
No,
that's your opinion.
Say so. Same thing as
that's your opinion.
Same thing as Quay Walker.
And I'm saying I wouldn't have paid him that. I wouldn't have never signed him personally. But hey, that's just me.
I know you would. Who would you have signed then?
I don't know.
Exactly. Okay.
I would have never. If it was me, I would have did whatever it took to keep Max.
John Spytek had a plan, and his plan worked out to perfection. And if his plan is,
how did it work to perfection when he came back?
Somebody a $3 million raise in the NFL from a rookie contract. God, that's a great plan. Come on, man. The current cap hit is $1 million, but the extra gets pushed to following years. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So in the NFL, contracts are set, guys. Players don't determine what they want to get paid. The only time you do that is when the player is trying to set the market.
It's not a number. It's a range of numbers. It's not a number. It's not a number. All these players don't get paid a number. It's a range of numbers.
Get paid a number within a very close range. That's
range, exactly. Don't try to change what I said. I said within a range.
Okay.
Don't try to minimize what I said to something else.
What is the range? What is the range?
I don't know what the range is.
The range is about $3 million. The range is about $3 million. Okay, that's what's set in the market.
I wouldn't have paid $16 million a year for
I know you wouldn't.
Pretty pay.
Because you would give Kirk
I wouldn't even, matter of fact,
at the age of 38.
Bro, I wouldn't even really, Moose is making like 11 million, like 11 or 12. He even getting overpaid. He's even overpaid.
No. That's not.
But the reason why
Coons is overpaid, but it's because we have no choice but to overpay him. With Coons, that is the amount we have to give.
What do you mean we didn't have no choice?
Okay. Yeah. Quick, guys. We didn't have a choice. So on Coons, a 1-year contract, we had to give him that exact amount. There wasn't a negotiation. So for 1-year contracts in the NFL, you don't negotiate. You have to give them the amount. So we've paid Coons the same amount for 2 years because that's the amount we have to pay him.
No, he didn't. He made less money this year than he did last year.
Yes, because he's 1 year older and he didn't really perform very well last year. But the amount we have to pay him is still set, and it's usually a range of $3 million. Okay, guys, the NFL is not the wild, wild west of contracts. There are banks behind.
I didn't say that.
Amazon.
I didn't say it. I didn't say that. I didn't say it was a wild, wild west of contracts. Don't try to change what I'm saying. Because I didn't say that.
Okay, if you overpay a player, that's that player setting the market. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, regardless of what the market dictates he's supposed to get, do I think that he is worth that? And what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying.
That is an opinion, right? That is an opinion, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Is that opinion based on what is it based on?
Performance.
Okay, so you're saying because he got 4 less sacks, he doesn't deserve $3 million more,
bro? Performance.
So you're saying
I ain't saying I ain't saying performance. The same reason why Indianapolis didn't re-sign him. Performance.
What was the performance issue?
Performance. Ask them.
What was the performance issue?
Ask them why they didn't. Ask them why they didn't re-sign him. Why would you re-sign somebody in a rookie contract? If you get your first round draft pick, right? And his contract comes up and you don't re-sign him, why would you re-sign him?
Many teams do that. You don't re-sign it because he's not.
No, why? Because I ask you how many teams. Why?
Because it's not what you're looking for at the moment. Yes, you're right. It's possible the coach wants somebody who would get more sacks. And so they said you went from 8 to 4, therefore we don't want you back. But really, are you saying that's really the reason? Because you do know that every year stats actually fluctuate per player, right? In other words, are you saying that the reason we traded Max Crosby is because his performance regressed from last year? No, that's not why. Oh, that's the reason why Kwity Paye.
No.
That's why they pushed Kwity Paye out the door.
All players aren't created equal, bro. Do you know who taking Kwity Paye? You know who taking Kwity Paye's position?
Rookie?
Arden Key. Arden Key.
Arden Key.
So let me ask you this.
You're saying
hold on. You keep asking me these questions. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So do you think Kwity Paye is better than Arden Key?
Oh, 100%.
So why would they get rid of Kwity Paye for Arden Key then?
Okay, because Arden Key was going to be cheaper. And they needed their money to go elsewhere.
And they get the same production.
What was Arden Key's production last year?
Bro.
you
look it up. You need to look up some of your own stats. You can't just have everybody look up your stats. Look up your own stats, bro. Like you keep throwing these stats out there, and then when I look it up, then you want to sit there and say, "Well, you're asking Google that." And I'm like, bro, you keep asking all these hypotheticals or these details, and when I look up the details, it's something else. All I'm saying is, why would you get somebody in the first round? Their rookie contract comes up, you let them go for a player that's not as good, but he probably is cheaper. But the only time you really do that is because their production is similar. But let me look it up though. Allow me the time. I'll look it up.
No, you can chat real quick. What in
the
Google first round was Kwity Paye?
Did Arden Key play for Indianapolis last year?
Arden Key has been bouncing around every single year, dude. I don't think that's the person you want to use to make your point, by the way.
Can you compare Arden Key's last season with Kwity Paye's?
We're talking about Arden Keys right now, by the way, the guy that we didn't re-sign, just to make our point. How do you even spell his name?
Who?
Arden Key.
Arden.
Who is, by the way, 30 years old. That's the person we're comparing Kwity Paye to. Kwity Paye is literally like 4 years or 5 years younger.
Okay. Oh.
Did he even play last year? Are you sure?
Can you compare Arden Key's stats with Kwity Paye's stats from last year?
Brother, I don't think you're. Yeah, no, Arden Key's. No, that's not a good comparison, bro. Bro, Arden Key's. I don't even think he played last year, guys.
Arden Key's stats last year versus Kwity Paye's. Can you compare the two?
Let's see, 2025. Bro, he got 9 solo tackles and 4 sacks. Okay. That's it? No. Come on.
Kwity Paye only had 15 solo tackles.
Okay.
And 4 sacks.
Okay.
So that's what. So if Arden Key's contract is cheaper and you getting 4 sacks out of both of them and somewhere the same tackles, like that tells me that Kwity Paye is not as good as we're advertising him because he's being compared to Arden Keys.
Okay, so who am I advertising being as good as? Who did I compare him to?
I'm just talking about who the franchise compared him to. I don't know who you comparing him to. I'm just talking about Indianapolis let him go. Okay. They let him go. They was about to pay that contract, like you said, and they're gonna get somebody cheap to get the same identical, somewhere same range production. Now, does that mean they have the same floor or ceiling? No, I don't mean that because Quiddy Pay could really have a good year this year.
I don't think they have.
And Arden Key is who he is.
So we hear your example, right? We hear your reasons. Here's mine. The reason why
That's not my example. That was an example that was in the league.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with that example.
The reason why they didn't sign Quiddy Pay is because one, they have to figure out their contract with their quarterback. Remember, their quarterback broke a leg, and so now they got to pay him because they somehow got to figure out a way to pay him. They also have to play Alec, what's his name? Their wide receiver who broke out of nowhere. So they have to give him a huge contract. Yes, could they have kept Quiddy Pay? Yeah, they could have, but that would depend on what they're trying to do. And I think their main focus is trying to bolster their offense because they may have a franchise quarterback. And what's his name? Daniel Jones. They may have a franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones, so they got to pay him a lot of money in the next year, and they're probably talking about that contract right now.
What are their contracts?
They didn't sign Quiddy Pay because he will have taken 3-year contract and at least $30 million out of their books, which is what I think we paid him. The same thing with Quay Walker. He was good. He was good for the Packers. But remember, the Packers brought in Parsons last year, and they got to figure out a way to pay all these people. So, in other words, they didn't really need a Quay Walker, so they let him walk. And it just so happens that because we are rebuilding our team, and we needed at least – I'm not saying Quiddy Pay is an A player. I'm saying Quiddy Pay is a B player, right? Is a B player. Right, so, but what are we, man? The man got 25 million guaranteed. That is a fantastic contract. Are we serious? 25 million guaranteed for 3 years? Are we being for real? That's a great contract.
All I know is they didn't pick up Quiddy Pay's 5th-year option, which would have paid him $13 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the Raiders said, "Oh, yeah, we'll just give you $3 more million, though."
Okay, what? Okay, here's the question, chat.
But he should have got more money coming out of his.
If that is the case, if the coach did not sign him on his rookie contract, didn't sign him, and then we decided to give him $13 million, is it more likely that because we're stupid and we don't know what we're doing, or is it more likely that we think he can fit better?
I'm not saying that. It's the business.
Indianapolis knew that he couldn't really fit what they're doing right now. That's my point. I'm just trying to say I'm not going to start trashing the guy. This again, maybe being a good
one. Trashed him. Was nobody trashing him? All I said was I felt like we overpaid for him.
Yeah,
that's all I said. I didn't say he was trash. Well, I don't think he's that good, but I'm not saying that he's trash.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm just saying he's definitely not a top 2 replace Max Crosby. That's not the person I would choose. I would rather go get somebody in the draft and go get him.
We're not trying to replace Max Crosby.
Why wouldn't you try to replace your best pass rusher?
Because he didn't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And by the way, again, what is this thing? Quiddy Pay is a very consistent player. This consistency is what we're paying for. Yeah, 2 years he's had 4 sacks his rookie year and last year, but everything else in between is 8.5, and 6, and he's still young enough to be able to. He's only been in the league for 5 years. What are we talking about? Acting like he's some guy who's almost retired. Yeah, he got 4 last year.
Who was saying that?
Based on your thing, you said Kirk Cousins will return to his glory. So yeah, who is more likely to return to their glory?
No, it's not no return to his glory. He already playing at a certain level. His level isn't
right.
His level isn't subpar for the playing time that he's getting. Like I'm sitting here looking at Arden Key play less games than Quiddy Pay, but have essentially almost the same stats.
Here's the question:
which I can see the reason why they would not give Quiddy Pay all the money that they're going to give them if they could pay Arden Key less.
Let's chat.
He made $7 million a year.
Let's chat settle this. Do you think Quiddy Pay will be able to get 8 sacks this coming season? Why or why not?
I like Spillane too, Jack. Kenna. I like Spillane.
Because I'm saying that, Kwity Paye. Well, Kwity Paye is 27. You'll be 28 when the season starts in November 19.
You said Paye could be overpaid.
Rage Against the Machine, dude. That was the band back in the days. I don't want to see slow, undisciplined guys. Who's slow and undisciplined? Kwity Paye is not a linebacker, guys. Kwity Paye is definitely not a linebacker. He is 100% edge. Yeah, he will never be a linebacker. He's an edge. Like, just fine. Look at how high Kwity Paye ranks in the edge position. Let's just look at that. Because you're acting like he's bottom. He's not. He's top half.
I never said that. Where did you get that from? What did I say that gave you the idea that he's at the bottom?
You say he does. You say we overpaid him. You literally.
So how does that equate? How does that equate to he's at the bottom?
Because you say he doesn't deserve the pay that he got. Okay, compare the pay that he got.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't have paid for that production at that price that we paid. I didn't say he was at the bottom.
And I'm pretty sure Kwity Paye will just say, "I don't care about your opinion." If you told him that, right?
He don't have to care about my opinion.
Okay. But I will care.
He don't have to appear. He doesn't.
But I will care before.
But all I'm saying is, if I have an opinion, which I do, and my opinion is, if I had to choose, I wouldn't have paid him that kind of money. I wouldn't have. But hey,
here's the thing, though.
I would have never signed him. But hey, Swiatek saw something, and that's what he wanted to go with. But
hey, if I
to act like that,
if I didn't push back against you, though, this would just be boring. It would just you telling everybody your opinion. So
no, it's fine because I'm sure I'm not the only one with an opinion. You got an opinion too. You can give your opinion.
And NJ Finn said, "I think Kwity Paye can be top 12 for 3 more years," and that is exactly the contract that you give.
He's not even top 12 right now.
Okay, can somebody please look that up?
Like, when was he ever top 12? Was he ever top 12?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was he ever top 12?
But I agree he can be top 12.
But my argument of overpayment is not as much with Kwity Paye as much as it is with them linebackers that we got. Like them linebackers we pay hella money for them. But hey, I'm not tripping on that. Like we had the money to spend, we spent it. But I know if we had something comparable between they really was the only free agents out there. So that's why we spent the money that we spent. Because we had to solidify those positions. So we had to overpay. It's the business.
Oh,
but Frank, to sit here and act like we didn't overpay him that's wild because we did.
We did not overpay.
Just like Tyler Lindenbaum, we overpaid for him too.
I'm going to sit here and say, and not only act like it, I'm going to say it. We did not overpay because the concept of overpaying doesn't make sense. The concept of overpaying says that you personally don't like, you wouldn't pay that person that money.
It has nothing to do with me liking them.
Saying that we did not overpay. You would not have made that investment.
Now we about to split hairs now.
Oh, I split.
Okay, so we want to split hairs now.
That's the best. Yeah. I mean, if you see hair, why not split it? That's what I always say.
I know, right? It's to be split. That's what it's there for, to be split.
No, we did not overpay.
He said, can we all agree that we would be happy to get our money's worth out of these guys? Yeah. There you go.
You know what's so funny? When people say you overpay for somebody, it's just like, look, just because you don't know how to sell yourself doesn't mean somebody else doesn't.
Bro.
You might think
so. Don't nobody ever get overpaid now? Is that what we're saying? Is this the question? Is overpaying for a player, is that even possible now? Is it possible?
Is it what?
Is it possible that players get overpaid for?
No.
Okay.
It is never possible that a player gets overpaid for. Because overpay implies stupidity. It's like, oh, okay.
No, it doesn't. Not for me, it doesn't.
Okay, so what does overpay imply?
It doesn't imply that at all.
What does it imply for you?
It implies that one, you got a good agent. It applies that really, like, you really got a really good agent.
Exactly.
And it also implies that some teams are more desperate than others. It don't mean that they're stupid.
How do you?
It just means that their need. It just means that their need is greater than the next team.
Okay, so
That's
you're saying our need at linebacker was greater than the coach, so therefore we gave him more money.
Our need was greater at DN than the Colts because the Colts had their answer.
Money. So we gave him more money.
No, so we paid a price. So we paid a price that we probably would have paid for that player.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay, because his agent would have set that price. So his agent would have gone to the coach with that price. So you're saying the coach saw the price and they said, no, he's not worth that. And therefore,
so why else wouldn't you take a 5th-year option on a player?
Because the Colts have to spend over $150 million on 2 players in the next year. Their quarterback.
So the first round pick.
Again.
Okay.
This is contracts.
So your first round player is so you drafted a player in the first round, but he didn't even make it through his rookie contract. But he was good though. But even though he didn't make it through his rookie contract,
guys,
but he was good though.
We have all the example we need. Just compare Kwity Paye's stats to Clinton Farrell's stats. Tell me who's worth what. Same situation. We let him go. Did we not? Stats.
He wasn't no good. He wasn't good. That's why we let him go.
Okay, next question. How much did Quentin Farrell get paid by the Niners when he left them?
Right. He definitely didn't make no $16 million.
Of course he didn't, because he sucked. Kwity Paye does not. That's my point.
Kwity Paye sucks, bro.
Okay. So you just said it. You said Kwity Paye sucks. You said it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying
he sucks, bro.
Okay. Good.
He sucked last year.
Well, at least everyone knows that's what you're saying.
He sucked last year.
You can't go backwards on that. And I'm telling you, he does not.
He sucked last year. That's why he didn't get a 5th-year option.
He did not suck last year. I don't know what you mean. He sucked last year.
His production went down last year.
Yeah, his production went down. Is that
significantly?
Max Crosby's production went
down. No, significantly.
Max Crosby's production went down significantly.
No, it didn't, bro.
Max Crosby's
numbers didn't go down significantly from the year before. Its numbers went up from the year before.
And let's just kill this argument. Max Crosby
and Kwity Paye and Max Crosby ain't even the same player, bro.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not. That's why we traded Max Crosby, because he had a bum leg.
Yeah, all right.
Guys, let's go.
And even with his 5th-year option, he would have only got paid $13 million.
Yep. Yeah.
So they didn't even feel like he was worth $13 million.
That's not why you don't do the 5th-year option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we finish that? Let's finish.
Yo, 805.
What up, 805?
Again,
look, there we go. Here we go. This is what I was trying to avoid looking up. He was ranked 86 out of 115 DNs, and so what does that make him? Where does that put Kwity Paye?
Yeah, you answer your own question. What does that put?
No, I'm just saying, in your opinion, if you had 115 DNs and the one that you decided that you was going to throw $16 million at was number 86, you're telling me that he's in the middle tier?
Brother.
He's not even a middle tier DN.
Just look at the person on top of him and below him and figure out what they got paid. And that will give you your answer. The person above Kwity Paye and the person below Kwity Paye, what are they getting paid? It's easy, just right.
Okay.
That's it. If you're gonna be, it's got about Kwity Paye, and it's about overpay, the person in front of him, the person behind him, in rating that you're looking at it right now. So he was 85. The number 84 and 86, who are they? First of all, we'll be able to tell what they're getting paid if we know who they are.
He said we're gonna call this segment overpay. All right, but that's a good question. Hold on. Let me see who those players were. Hold on, Jack. Jack, I'm about to send the link. Hey, Google. Who was the number 84th and the number 87th ranked PFF DN last year?
Fucking PFF. Talk about trash. PFF is trash.
Now PFF is trash.
Brother, PFF is so trash they can't even stay together as a company. What are we talking about?
Oh, great. Arden Key was right underneath him. Oh, wow.
And how much is Arden Key getting?
So that even explains even more why they got rid of him.
Okay, how much is
Arden Key? They got rid of a player.
How much are they paying Arden Key?
So they play. What? Arden Key got paid what?
How much are they paying him this year? What was his contract? Arden Key's Bro,
hey, Google, how much did Arden Key get paid this year?
His contract is valued at $11 million.
$2 years, $16 million. 2 years, $16 million, bro.
Yeah. How much guaranteed? For 1 year. $11 million.
11 million guaranteed, bro.
Yeah, 8.5 carrying a cap hit. Dude, what are we talking about? I keep telling you guys, NFL contracts are not.
Quiddy pay contract is.
They're pretty set. NFL contracts are not dubious. If you want to know what a
Quiddy pay contract is, way more than this, bro. How much is Quiddy pay guaranteed?
Quiddy pays 3 years younger, so he has a 3-year contract because he's coming from a rookie. Again, because he's coming from a rookie, he has to get a contract. So we give him a 3-year contract. The actual guarantee isn't.
He didn't have to get 3 years, bro.
Yes, he does.
We gave him 3 years.
Again, in the NFL, it is not the Wild Wild West. People have to get paid.
Bro, you don't have to give him 3-year contract, bro. He could have got a 1-year contract. It don't matter. Like the thing is, so how much? How much is Quiddy pay?
Can you give a rookie
how much is
1-year contract?
How much is Quiddy pay contract?
Guys, I know you all know Raider football. I know Raider football too, but I also know football.
So you telling me? Wait, so hold on. Listen to this, bro. So you're telling me
I'm not telling you anything.
The number 87th person got 11 million guaranteed.
I'm not telling you nothing.
For 2 years, but you rather pay the person one step higher than him $32 million for 3 years. That's what you're telling me?
Because it's 3 years younger. Duh, of course I would do that. Who wouldn't do that?
But the production, who cares about his age if the production is the same?
What are you talking about? What was Arden Key's production 5 years ago?
Bro, we just had that. You just sat here and asked me to look up the person below him and the person above him.
Yes. I would pay Quiddy pay $3 million more than Arden Key's because he's
it's way more than $3 million more, bro. He getting way more than $3 million more.
He didn't, bro. We gave him a 3-year contract, but it's only 2-year guarantee. The 3rd year is always going to be an option. Bro. When a rookie is coming off of the rookie contract,
32 of it is guaranteed, bro. 32 million. That's way too much.
I was like,
way too much.
32 of what? Of what? Of
we could have got Arden Key for 16.
Why the hell
guaranteed?
We want Arden Key for 16? We'd had him already.
Because they're the same player.
Because they're the same player.
What do you mean? One was ranked 86 and one was ranked 87.
One is
called
Quiddy pay. One is 30 years.
We're talking about a player that's ranked in the bottom half of DNs.
Okay, no more. Again, NFL contracts are not the Wild Wild West. They're structured. If you want to know if a player is worth something, what is the guy?
What's structured, bro? What's the structure? What structure jumps from the number 87th person to the number 86th person, but they got twice the guaranteed amount?
I'll tell you. The structure of we don't care what his last year's stats was. We care about his entire overall stats so far. If he got eight sacks 2 years back to back, we believe that we can get him back to 8 sacks. So you're saying, well, pay him according to last year because, of course, the NFL is what have you done for me lately? For rookies, that's not how that works. For rookies, you actually have to consider their entire play time.
I wouldn't pay him twice as much as the guy under him. I know I wouldn't do that.
We're not paying him twice as much.
I wouldn't pay him twice as much as the dude right under him. I wouldn't do that.
I know you wouldn't. We're not talking about what you.
That don't even make sense.
Why does that not make sense?
Why would you pay the number 86? And you can see if we was talking about the number 15th or number 20th ranked player. We're talking about the number 86th. 86.
Okay, here's another question. This is not even a question. If somebody's paying someone $16 million, and you're saying they're not worth that, why are they paying that? Does it not make sense to say, let me think outside the box? Why would you pay $16 million for somebody that I don't think deserves $16 million? What makes you think that you are the correct person in that situation and the person who's paying the $60 million is not? Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense.
Well, why are we doing a podcast about the Raiders when neither one of us work for them, man? Why are we doing a podcast for them?
I want to work for the Raiders. I want them to hire me right now. I want them to hire me for their video division. Actually, I'm trying to be Hall of Fame for the Raiders.
It's Jack Kenner.
Hey, Lou brothers. Good to see both of you guys. Black. Raiders.
What's up, bro? What's up?
Oh, I don't like random people coming in. Okay, talk.
He's not random.
To me, he is. I've never met him.
Well, he's only in your chat all the time now.
Okay. All right, Go ahead.
I apologize. I don't want to interrupt your talk. So keep going.
Man.
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say. It's no different than having a call-in show, which we're supposed to have people call in anyway. It's no different. So
yeah, no.
Me and Good Raiders don't really know each other, so this is all kind of new. So, Good Raiders, you read a bunch of my stuff off, earlier tonight. So I thank you for that. But I want you to have your time. So get your time in, and I'll chime in afterwards.
No, go ahead. I've talked enough about it. Go ahead. Well, I just want to know, would you pay the number 86th player twice as much than you would pay the number 87th player?
That's not a question.
I'm talking about guaranteed money. Where'd you go? I just want to know if you would pay. I just want to know who would do that.
Oh, well, Good Raider. I hope I didn't. I liked what your chat was. I agree with a lot of what you said. And you and Black. It's like I think Kwity Paye is he's not a great edge rusher, in the way of rushing on the edge. But I feel like he's really good against the run, kind of more like a Max Crosby. So That's great. I think it's a great thing to have, which we have not had in any of the edge rushers that we've had. So that's an improvement. So I think what 2 years ago he had 8 sacks. So
here's a better question though. With what you just said, we're paying Max how much? 16, 13, 30 million?
30. Max is 36 million, but for Max that's cheap.
And we're overpaying for Kwity Paye, who's getting 16.
No, I don't feel like we're overpaying for Kwity Paye.
Why? Because
I really don't, because I feel like the Raiders paid Kwity Paye when we thought we're trading Max to Baltimore for 2 first round draft picks. So
exactly, yeah.
So we brought him in there to to be a good run stopper and have potential on rushing the passer. So I'm not going to argue that. I think I agree with it. 100%.
I do too. Exactly. And the point that I'm making is, based on what we just said, nothing here suggests overpay at all, because that's the point that we overpaid. It's like, well, how can you overpay? The going rate for top edge is 30 million. Kwity Paye 60 million. That's literally within his range for his stats.
I agree with that. Yeah. I do agree with that. It's like, there was a big argument, you guys going on tonight. It's like the guys I look at more is like, more like Mountain Koontz. It's like, can he bounce back after year 2 after his knee surgery?
No. My answer is no.
I'm hoping, you know what I mean? As we're all being Raiders fans, we're hoping, right? We're hoping.
No, I'm not. I don't think he's going to be good at the edge position. I think
I'm personally, I'm not a big person, a believer in Crawford in our 3rd round pick. So it's like,
oh, why not?
Why not? Because I just don't. Don't. It's like it's not my gut.
It's just
it's like as Raider fans, like you gotta you have certain players that feel in your gut, like man, I feel like this kid can really do it, and it's not. When I heard that draft pick, my heart sank.
Yeah, when you hear what?
So everyone's different.
Crawford?
Well, yeah, Crawford, 3rd round.
Really?
Yeah, I still feel it. The guy's really light. He's more of like maybe it works better for a 3-4 than our 4-3 for several years.
So here's what I think. He's gonna put on weight. That's why we drafted him. He's only 22 years old. I've already said between their 1st and 3rd year, a lot of NFL players gain weight. Pretty much every NFL player gains weight between their 1st year and 3rd year. By the 3rd year, Keon Crawford is going to be around 260. Unless they want to move him to linebacker and skin him and make him skinnier, but I don't think that's a game plan. For example, Max Crosby in his 1st year with the Raiders, go look it up. He said it himself. Went up to 270 pounds in his 1st year. And
Max is 270. He's what 255, 254 right now.
Yeah, and Keon Crawford is already 250, 253.
Hey, Weber,
and he's only 22 years old.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's like I did ask a question. It's like I know you guys are like battling on defensive ends, and I'm hoping for the best. I think this is going to be one of the better, run defensive teams that we've had in so many years.
Yes.
Since watching from the 70s. So
that's it. Okay. Here's the question, Raider Nation. Why? Why do we think they will be good against the run?
Well, I do think Kwity Paye is a good run defensive end. I don't he's not a guy like I feel like, man, he's getting a ton of sacks.
Guys,
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for, like, again, I feel like the nation, what we need as a team is like you stop the run, and then you put them in the 3rd down, 2nd and long, type of team, like and then let our defensive backs. I think that's why we drafted 4 of them.
Here's what's crazy about this conversation right now. Look at the Seahawks defense last year. Look at their sacks. The top sack was 7. 3 of them got 7. All of them are getting paid way more than Kwity Paye. Again, what are we talking about? Look at our coach, Clint Kubiak. How does he do football? He runs and runs and runs, right? If you can't stop the run, guess what? It doesn't matter. Why are we willing to trade Max Crosby? Because if you can't stop the run, it doesn't matter.
Well, I don't believe we want to trade Max Crosby because we can't stop the run, because Max Crosby is probably one of the best run defensive ends in the entire league.
He's good at running the ball, but he's not.
I think he's really good.
He's not one of the best.
But when Baltimore's going to offer 2 first-round picks, and like the number 14th overall was that
right?
Is it Dunway from Penn State?
They got Leon, right? They picked up Leon, the guard, didn't they? With that pick, you muted Black.
But I mean that Duzway was from Penn State, was probably the number 14th pick overall. I don't remember now. it's like, you know, when he got drafted, but man, he was like on the top on the board, like, you know, looking at it. And then whoever you can get, you know, with the second first round pick is whatever you're going to get. And then that made kind of sense, you know, to coming in for like a Mendoza and this offensive line and Kubiak. It's like that made a lot of sense to me. But I do have a question for you guys. And, you know, the chat, please hop in and, you know, also, you know, respond to this question. It's like we look at like what was been done this season, and then it's like you guys brought up linebackers and Clay Walker. And I personally, I'm a huge, big Spillane fan. I love Spillane. And then we brought in Clay Walker. And we look at what the contract is with Spillane. Like, what, it was 3 years, $11 million per, with bonus, it's like $37 million. And we paid Clay Walker more. But I think Spillane had more to offer. I'm just kind of curious what you guys think of this. Am I just in the wrong with this? But
what is the question specifically?
So the question is, like, you know, why not re-sign Spillane versus
that's a
you know,
good question.
versus like, you know, signing Clay Walker to this huge contract? It's like I feel like we got Spillane would have been cheaper if we would have done it at the time.
Fine. Here's my simple answer, and Black can give his. My simple answer is when Pete Carroll came in, John Spytek wasn't interested in spending a lot of money because we didn't have a quarterback. There was no rebuild to start. We could have re-signed Spillane, but that means at least a 3-year contract. And then what? We didn't have a quarterback. And we've all known that was the number one thing. So I believe when Pete Carroll came in, he came in with it knowing that he wasn't going to get a ton of money towards free agency. That's why he only really signed Geno Smith, was the only one who really got a contract. And Geno Smith's contract was really, really a 1-year contract if you break it down. And we've done
I agree with that.
And everybody else got 1-year contracts because we didn't have a QB. That wasn't the rebuild. That was just, can we win doing the Pete's way? Pete, can you redeem yourself, give yourself one more punch, and let Seattle know that they made the bad decision letting you go? That's what that was.
Yeah. So good Raiders. So like the one thing, you know, at that time, I'm going back in time, fellas. So everyone's watching the show. I'm going back in time. When, you know, when we got Spytek, he says, I don't let good players walk out of the building. You know, I took that really to heart, and they signed Matt Scrunt. Well, I did. I took it to heart.
I heard that, and I thought that means nothing. What are you saying?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it meant a lot. So it's like, you know, I'm like, man, we signed Max to that, you know, which is a great deal, $36 million a year, cheapest contract. I'm like, man, it's like what now the fifth cheapest edge rusher in the league. You know,
that's like it's more like 7.
Oh, thank you, Black.
He's less than the average. The league.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Bro,
when Max we signed Max,
let me finish,
we made
man.
him top paid in the league.
Bro, he was top paid.
It was the highest.
Bro, let me finish, man. Hold on. He was top paid for like 15 minutes.
Yes,
if you take the
because
top,
that's how the
bro,
NFL
let me finish. I've been patient in letting people talk. I'm just saying, if you take the top 10 edge rushers, Max Crosby make less than the middle person in that, the number 5 person.
No, he didn't.
Bro, I literally did. Okay, let's look it up, because you're saying that based on how you feel. I've looked it up, but no, let's look it up.
Well,
we've already looked it up.
Please look it up.
We've already looked it up.
What was Max Crosby's last contract? Please
look
36
million a year, and it's like, you know, you got the guy from Cleveland that got traded to the Rams. He's making 40, but he's not even the highest paid defensive end.
You mean the best edge in the entire NFL? That guy who went to Rams? That guy?
He doesn't make the most. No, he don't.
Harrison?
No, he's second most.
Yeah, because I think Michael Parsons makes the most.
No.
No. It's Will Johnson.
No. I think Parsons number 3.
Will Johnson just got a new contract. Look up Will Johnson Jr.
Just look up, and just Google it. Someone please just Google it. It's like, and that's why I said I loved about Spytek when he first came over. It's like he got Max Crosby in that contract, for 2 years. It's pretty much it's a 2-year contract.
Okay.
Because no guaranteed money, and he's going to want more of a guaranteed money when it's over with.
We're gonna have to do his redo his contract after this season.
No, it's not after this season. It's 2 years.
We're gonna have to redo Max contract after this season.
No, we don't. It's 2 years.
Okay. How many years has it been on this contract?
Oh my God.
This is gonna be the second year.
Contract is locked in for next year already, bro.
Okay, are we going to have to redo his contract after this coming season? The
answer is
yes.
No, we don't.
Get money after this season.
Well, because Max ain't going to want to play for no guarantee.
Exactly.
Bro, once y'all look it up instead of just saying it.
My wife is telling me to. But no, we have to redo Max contract after this year. Yeah.
No, we don't.
Okay, fine. We don't. Just when the season comes and Max says, I don't want to play with zero guaranteed money, we either have to trade him or we have to re-sign him. Right? Okay.
Hey, Google. After this season, does Max run out of guaranteed money?
No, after next year.
Right.
Well, wait. You might be right. Because, his contract was last year, and this year. So, Black, you might be right, bro. He might be out of guaranteed money.
Okay, here we go. Does Max Crosby run out of guaranteed? Does Max Crosby run out?
My boy I trust just said 2028, he will have to address his guaranteed money.
That's not next year.
I've met my boy,
like I said,
805 a couple times in Bakersfield. I trust what he says.
Oh, but I just said the exact same thing though.
Okay, well then I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
I just said the exact same thing. And then also
last year.
But I understand why you trust him. I understand. I'm not saying that you should have trust me. I'm just saying. Now, at least give me some level of trust.
Dude, I love you, bro.
If that's what's being said, and I'm like, no. After this season right here, he's already locked in into next season. He don't have to address his guaranteed money to the 28 season. Now, I'm about to get, and I was just about to read it off right here about exactly what his contract says. Now, I can also go on and read about how he's his top 10. So let's look that up. Hey, Google.
I don't even care, honestly.
What is the top 10? What is the top 10 edge rushers salaries? And where does Max Crosby fit there?
4th or 5th, I'm guessing. Just guessing.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Okay, so here we go. Number 1 is Will Anderson, $50 million. Michael Parsons was 2. Aiden Hutchinson is 3. TJ Watt is 4. Daniil Hunter is 5. Myles Garrett is 6. And like I said, 7th is Max Crosby. He makes less than the average. The average is 5 out of the top 10. He makes $35 million per year. And the average out of all these numbers, I think is like 39 million. I mean, out of all the top 10, the average is 39 million. And even if it's like 36, he's still making less than half than the average of the top 10 edge rushers.
Well, then I will say this. Doesn't that make Spytek look like a great GM? What he did?
Well, yes. Yes, absolutely. So that's why when people say, hey, well, he was the highest paid, I was like, yeah, for 15 minutes.
Yeah, like 15 seconds, like Derek Carr, like when he got signed to that quarterback contract, and like everyone passed him up.
Exactly.
So great contract.
Yes. And is taking all the money either.
He's not taking all the money. That's the thing that's crazy. He's not, because everyone else is paying way more for the defensive ends. And you can put, again, the argument all tonight was like guys like Kuntz and Quinny Pay. I would take Quinny Pay over Mountain Kuntz right now, just because he's a better run stuffer. No reason more than that. And there's a potential they can be similar in sacks, but I'd take a better run stuffer and stop the run and put the offense in more third down positions to where you have to throw the ball. And I think that's where, Spytek is a genius. Man, he spent 4 picks on the secondary? Two corners, two safeties. So you put all those picks in that back room out of our 11 picks. So I'm like, that is great, because our DB room sucked fucking ass last year.
So you telling me, okay, you would give Quiddy Pay the money, but would you give him $32 million guaranteed?
No. But I think it's like, again, Black, this is the way I kind of see it. It's a premium position, right? And, I think Quinny Pay has potential. Maybe this is where you and I differ on this, bro. I feel like he's got some potential, and he said he got used the wrong way. It's kind of like Clay Walker said the same thing. I was used the wrong way. And maybe Robbie Leonard, which I do have a lot of trust in, and I feel like he could probably do a great job at this position, but at the same time, this is a growing team, and I'm not saying the Raiders are a playoff or a Super Bowl team or anything like that. I'm just saying it's grown. It's a growing year, so it's like, yeah, maybe it fits. You know what I mean? We don't know, right? We don't know as Raider fans what the hell this team's going to do. It's like, it's what makes it so exciting, at the same time so difficult as a whole. And after year one, I guarantee you, me, and Good Raider, and everyone else that's in this chat is going to know, like, is it working? Is it not working?
I can tell you right now that if you have a guy that's right under him, we're talking about 2 players that's at the bottom half. We ain't talking about in the middle or in the top tier. We talking about in the bottom half. If you have a guy that's ranked 86th and a guy that's ranked 87th, I don't care what the age, the whatever you want to say. I'm not about to pay the next player from 16 million guaranteed to 32 million guaranteed with one player difference. That does so. I don't care if he was playing in the wrong scheme. I don't care none of that, because what that would tell me is I mean, he has to go from 86 to like about 30 something that next year. And I don't care what we're talking about. Quiddy Pay is not about to go from 86 to 30 something. I don't care. It's not going to happen. It's not. He's not going to go from 86 to 30 something. He's not. I'm willing to bet that.
Well, I can understand. I can understand what you're saying in a take, but I can also understand, like, that you guys and Good Raider, debating on, Arden is not key. I've seen that. I've seen that show. It's like it's always missed, like, just by a half second, whatever it is. I'm done with that. But you know what? If I got a better run stuffer, and you get Clay Walker from Kansas City, is what you really need. and you got an Amario Hampton, from the Chargers, and you got the guy, what's his name, from the Broncos, which they signed from the Chargers. He was hurt last year. He's hurt every fucking year. A good running game. Then you take a team that goes from a running team to a passing scheme, and I really don't care who the fuck you really are. That helps your team to win. Is the way I kind of look at it. So,
bro,
because we have not had a run stuffer on. Let me ask you guys this: the panel, the chat, who's been a really good run stuffing defensive end on the opposite sides of Max Crosby or Khalil Mack? Either one of them.
Nobody. We haven't had nobody.
Right, bro.
Nobody.
But Ralph, I'm about to get you in right here. But 805.
Okay.
This is how all this started. Right here. Your comment right here. This is how it all started. I said it wasn't that I didn't think Kwity Paye wasn't a good stopper of the run. I wasn't saying that he was weak. I didn't even know where he was rated. All I know was that he was overpaid. And I said it's okay because we had the money and we had to fill that position. We had to fill it. So we had to throw the money at it. No different than Tyler Lindenbaum, no different than the linebackers that we overpaid. It's okay.
And we thought Max was gone, right, Black? We thought Max was gone to Baltimore. So it makes sense.
So all I'm saying is Kwity Paye is overpaid. That's all I was saying. He was overpaid. That's all I was saying. I didn't say that he wasn't going to do good for us. I think he's going to do awesome for us, especially playing opposite of Max now, because we don't need him to have them 8 sacks like he normally do. We need you to go from 4 to 6, somewhere in there, and make sure they don't run on your side, because they're not about to run on Max's side, and Max is going to get the sacks if they come on his side. So he actually has somebody to complement him on the opposite side now. I think he might be worth the money, but we overpaid. That's all I was saying. That's it.
Hey, Black. 805 says he wants to hop on, dude. Send him the link.
Yeah, the link is in here. The link is in.
Just resend it. Just resend it for him.
I was going to just ask him if he wants the link or if he wants. Here's the link.
Yeah, my boy 805.
Because Ralph found the number. All right, bro. Last time we didn't let you talk. I'm about to let you get off right now. What you got to say, bro? Because I didn't give you a time to shine last time.
Okay.
What's up, brother?
Hey, salute to Jack. Salute to Black. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you very quick about for the situation coming up there. It's not always about talent. Good organizations know how to manage contracts, the salary cap, draft picks, and relationship with players. When those things are handled poorly year after year after year, even talented teams can't stay start at the bottom. Hopefully, we just got them into the deal done before it starts causing Keon Bell reps in camp. Because I just wanted to tell you, for the case of contract of Fernando Mendoza, the main issue reportedly isn't the total value of the contract, because of the NFL rookie wage scale, that amount largely preterminate. Instead, the negotiation center and the structure and the timing of Mendoza's signing bonus, particularly wording like $38.1 million should be paid up front, because that doesn't matter, because isn't holding out because he wants. So like 65 million instead of 55 million, because they're guaranteed up offer like the contract, and it seems like an agreement, but there's no signed contract yet because there's some financial contractual details still need to get a result. But I know that I have a strong initiative coming up there, but that should be like something fully guaranteed. But that's also the distinction matters, because I know that Mendoza has already participated in off-season activities, but with the training camp, the stage range becomes more important. And missing actual camp could cause value repetitions as he adjusts to the NFL and works for the offense of the Raiders. And I will tell you for this right now. This time, it's not going to be like the same old mistake over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because we're tired of this same bullshit, okay? Because we're tired of the same quarterback shit with Geno Smith and Eddie O'Connell. Because I just saw the second year of Brock Bowers as a tight end, and I didn't see a failure. I see an improvement. So why those rules, the share, and of course, the touchdowns, and of course, the production has been increased? Because it seems like the power of athletes is very essential. But with it seems like the quarterback of Geno Smith doesn't work it at all. That's what I'm got talking about it. So that's why.
Yeah, Roth, it's like, we looked at like Geno coming into the Raiders. He was a top 15 quarterback. And man, I've never in my entire life, from a fan that's watched my first game on black and white TV in 74, first game live in 75. Dude, he looked way worse than Jamarcus Russell. I've never, except for the very first game against the Patriots, which he was threading balls. Like, I was like, holy crap, man, it was so close to being tipped or like, blocked or whatever. And I'm like, this guy is the biggest trash I've ever seen. It's like, it was kind of crazy. It went from game one to the rest of the season. Horrible. I mean, what did you guys see? Like, besides like the carols, I don't even understand. It's like, I had belief. Again, another question for you guys. I had belief in the carols until like, Brandon Carroll was brought in, being an offensive coordinator from Washington. And he was brought in and he started switching players around. I'm like, man, he fucking turnstiled everything and made no sense to any Raiders fan ever. It's like, and it was like horrible.
I knew all that was going to happen from the beginning. It's Chip Kelly, man. I get that Brendan Carroll wasn't the best O-line coach. I'll give you that. I don't know how many times in life I've ever blamed the O-line coach for the deficiency of an offense, right? It's enough. I mean, when you rank 32nd or 31st, there's enough blame to go around for everybody. But now, if you want to look at what was the nucleus of the issue there, it was Chip Kelly. I mean, even at the end of the year, they even came out and said Chip Kelly was calling plays that they never practiced, putting them in, lining them up in positions where they weren't practicing, calling plays that they wasn't working on, and he never liked Geno Smith, and he was trying to get Geno Smith out of there so he can get his own quarterback. He was trying to get Pete Carroll out of there so he could be the head coach. But the Raiders finally did the smart thing that they usually don't do is pull the trigger and get rid of you. They got rid of him in the first year. That's something that the Raiders usually don't do. We usually play let's kick the tire game at least a year and a half, 2 years. And he thought he was going to be able to be the smartest guy in the room. You could tell by his play calling he thought he was the smartest guy in the room. How do you play action on first down and you don't even run the ball? And then you so smart with it that you come out the second half and do the same thing like people was gonna fall for it again or fall for it then. Like it was him.
Well, Black, I have a question for you. I have a question for you on that. That's a great point because I never thought of it that way. But what I thought about, Chip Kelly with, the college football field being a little bit wider, your hash marks are a little bit wider, and you're for another 5 yards on both your hash marks. So the plays that you make for Chip Kelly are easier to make in college because that's the way the hash marks are going into the NFL, which is smaller. So how did you see that, bro?
Well, the reason why I seen it because being a quarterback that used to call his own plays and then used to have plays called for him, I know the difference between when you're calling competent plays to put your quarterback in position to succeed. I already knew Chip Kelly history from the Eagles and his situation with the Eagles and how that blew up. And then they sent him to San Francisco, and that really blew up. And so he got kicked out of the NFL, went to college, was a head coach. Then he got reduced from a head coach at UCLA. So
UCLA.
he was trending down. And so then he ended up getting a job with Ohio. Then
Ohio State offense coordinator.
He's supposed to be good as an offensive coordinator in college when you've been an NFL head coach in different places. So you maximize that. But then that doesn't mean that was going to translate to the NFL. So he backdoored his way to the NFL. I knew he didn't like these color quarterbacks because of the Philadelphia situation, but he could be different. He could have changed, whatever. So I took all that into consideration, and I said, forget all that. Let's look at the plays. So I'm looking at the court. I'm looking at Geno Smith. Okay, Geno Smith holding the ball too long. You want to know why he's holding the ball too long? Because there's nobody open. Because
Yeah.
you could tell who the primary receiver was in every one of those plays. Why you think the defense was always converging on that one player that was the main target? We didn't ever have a check down. So then Geno Smith everybody was like, Geno Smith is holding the ball too long. So then he was like, okay, I'm gonna just let it rip. So he started trying to thread it, and he got 2 or 3 guys there. The ball was getting tipped, all kind of stuff. So it was even more turnovers. That's the reason why he flipped off the fans, because the fans didn't understand that Chip Kelly was upstairs sabotaging him with the play calls. He wasn't putting him in the best position to succeed. And just to land my point, and to Geno Smith's credit, as bad as he played, he still had more touchdowns than interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, but at the same time, Chip Kelly never significant problems because for us, we had instability at quarterback, an offensive line that struggled, limited receiver depth beyond players like Brock Bowers. But
Offensive
it
line
seems
coach.
like, yeah,
Well, so let's say if you're the offensive coordinator, right? And your O line coach is not developing your players, right? It's
yeah,
incumbent on you as the offensive coordinator to call plays that best fit your strengths. Now, we didn't have too many strengths because our O line wasn't blocking. And and I will say that has a lot to do with the O line coach and it's 8:05 here. Oh, that has a lot to do with oh, I'm sorry, brother. My bad, bro. I left you in the back. I didn't hear the thing pop.
oh,
But yeah, so that does have a little bit to do with Brendan Carroll. But at the end of the day, the
It has a lot
responsibility
to do
is
with
for the
Brendan Carroll. It's like I
but at,
again, I will not
but
minimize the
I'm
offensive
not
line, and running
I'm not
back
minimizing.
coordination in Brendan Carroll. Well, what's
I'm not
What's up,
minimizing.
805?
What I'm saying is this though. It's the offensive coordinator's main responsibility. You can't sit there and say, well, the reason why that
Well, the
the
main
offensive
responsibility is our
coordinator
head coach
didn't.
was Brandon Carroll, or
We're
Pete
talking
Carroll.
about on offense because Pete Carroll wasn't running the offense. If you're the offensive coordinator, there's no way you should let the O line coach bring you down. You should be able to call plays that best suit your offense based on what you know will work. And he wasn't doing that because he wasn't setting up plays. He kept throwing the ball when we were supposed to be a run first team. We never was a run first team at all. But he came out and said we was going to be a run first team. We never was.
Well, we can say that, but besides Genty, you look at our backup running backs. It was trash. It was horrible.
Mostert was good. He just didn't never let Mostert play
Well,
because Mostert
he's
was
an
gone.
older running back.
Mostert
It's
was,
like he's
bro,
okay. He's like okay is the way I look
did
at
you
him.
did you see his stats last year when he actually played running back? He was the most productive running back that we had outside of Genty. But this is why we had a cluster of head office is because Pete Carroll was holding these grudges or whatever it was he was doing, not playing players until certain points,
Not playing
with
rookies.
not playing rookies, sticking Monster on special teams instead of letting him play, letting Zamir White run. I mean, like I like Zamir White, but he wasn't being productive at all. So
man, that Zamir White is like, I will say this. He looks super big. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, 805. Go, bro.
First off, Jack, shout out to you. Rob, shout out to you. Black, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you. The only I'll say, and I'm just chiming in real quick in the conversation, is what's difficult is when you blame a certain performance on a coordinator. I'm not saying Chip Kelly was the best. I'm not saying that at all. But at the end of the day, when you have, I'm a firm believer that the offensive line is the driver of the offense, the driver of the success of the offense. That's why for the last 3 seasons, I have been a massive advocate of building the offensive line, building trenches, right? And for myself, when you talk about, you have Pete Carroll that brings on his son, and his son did not have the credentials whatsoever to be a credible offensive line coach in the NFL. But then you also have reports, and take the reports for what you will. You have the reports that Tom Brady wanted Chip Kelly. So Pete Carroll did not want Chip Kelly. Tom Brady wanted Chip Kelly. And so the problem is, and this is what I stated on my channel months ago, like when we're in the middle of last season, is Pete Carroll or Brendan Carroll, the offensive line coach, man, are these like somewhat sabotaging Chip Kelly, in a sense that, I'm sorry, like Chip Kelly, you can agree or disagree whether or not he's a good offensive coordinator or whether or not he knows offense or whatever it may be. You don't forget overnight how to call plays. You don't forget overnight how to construct an offense. He did it at Ohio State. He did it in his past. He did it at UCLA. You don't just forget to construct an offense. But when we broke down game film last offseason, you can clearly see offensive linemen were going in the wrong direction for some reason. You had Jordan Meredith, which was our center, that literally on a 4th and 1 play ended up pulling for some reason. You don't pull on a 4th and 1 play. You just don't. That's smash mouth football. You're going to hit somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying any opinion is wrong. I'm just saying that what is so difficult is I think that there's a really good chance that Pete Carroll being the head coach, Brendan Carroll being the offensive line coach, I think that given the fact that Brendan Carroll was he had no qualifications to be a head offensive line coach in the NFL, that hindered Chip Kelly's ability to at least be a decent offensive coordinator.
So let me ask you this, because you said decent, right?
Yeah.
He got paid to be the most. He got paid the most. He was getting paid more than some head coaches. Not even saying it was all his fault, because Brendan Carroll definitely has some blame here. But let's just be honest. When was the last time Chip Kelly was a competent play caller in the NFL? Over 10 years ago, like way over 10 years ago.
Wait. It's like, when he first got to Philly, like the first year or two, and they kind of figured his ass out after that.
Yeah, and then he lost the locker room, and then he went to San Francisco and lost that locker room, and then they sent him to college, and he lost that locker room, and then he really found his niche as an offensive coordinator, which was cool, right? And I'm not even saying he shouldn't even got a chance to be a coordinator in the NFL. What I'm saying is he wasn't the Chip Kelly that people think that he was, because he hadn't been competent as an offensive coordinator in the NFL in a very long time. So long that a lot of these players don't even know Chip Kelly's history. They don't know when he was back with Michael Vick and Cooper Riley and all that. They don't know that. They don't know about none of that, because that was so long ago. So I was like, well, okay, you got to come in and prove yourself. You can't. We threw him we gave him $6 million a year.
Well, no, Black. I agree with that. That's $6 million a year, but at the same time, are you saying like McDaniels, who became the Raiders head coach and was the Broncos head coach, and we saw what he did, and he goes back to New England and goes to the Super Bowl. So, is he like a good offensive coordinator? Or
he's an excellent offensive coordinator. He's a terrible head coach. He's not a leader amongst men, but he can call the hell out of some plays, though.
But
that's the difference between a head coach and a coordinator.
You want to know why he got paid? Is because you have to entice a guy that just came off of winning a national championship
to
come over to the NFL. And I think that's the only reason why he was paid. I 100% agree. I thought it was wild that he got paid that type of money. But when you are one of the worst organizations in the NFL and you just come off of actually winning a national championship, that pay has to offset somehow. And so I'm not saying he's worth the top paid offensive coordinator. I'm not saying that. But I think as an organization, you got to pay him something in order to get him over here.
It's the Raider way. We got to throw the bag at people because of our franchise. But my thing is this. My thing is this. If he was such a competent offensive coordinator, how did he end up back in college again? Why didn't another NFL team give him a chance? Because for me, I think he would have never even got back into the NFL had the Raiders not went and got him. I won't say never, but he wouldn't have got in there when he did, because he sure, as soon as the Raiders got rid of him, didn't nobody else say, well, shoot, you back in the league now, we want you. Nobody did that. He's in college again.
So that's a good call.
Well, the one thing I'll say is, Black, I've heard you talk long enough to where I think you some understand not just the football side of things, but you also understand like the business side, right? And so let's do it this way. If Chip Kelly got fired, the optics of it is that good luck trying to be a brand new head coach in the National Football League, and then you go and hire Chip Kelly as your offensive coordinator after the debacle that he just went through with the Raiders, right? Like, it's not saying that Chip Kelly is not a potentially decent offensive coordinator. It's just that you're not going to put your neck on the line to possibly hire on Chip Kelly when you're the next head coach.
Right. And so do you think Chip Kelly, okay, so and I totally agree with you on that, because you don't want to go down with that shit because he just burnt the Raider ship. So my question would be then. So after about a couple years go by, right? 2 years go by, maybe even 3 years, when the optics die down, is Chip Kelly in the NFL calling plays?
It's all about
in your opinion. Just in your opinion. I mean, just like take your. There's no right or wrong to this because we don't know until the time comes. But do you think that the NFL is going to be knocking on his door looking for him to be an offensive coordinator in 3 years?
You want to know what my opinion on that is? It's all about opportunity. And I will say this, and I'm going to preface this just like our Fernando Mendoza quarterback. It's all about opportunity. It's all about what is the competition that day? What is the prospects that you had to choose from that day? Chip Kelly could be the hottest commodity in 2 years. You never know. But it's all dependent on what is available that day. So I have no clue. Could be great, could be mediocre. I have absolutely no clue.
So essentially, the same way he got pulled into the NFL this time because of opportunity, the same thing could happen within 3 years. I would agree that could happen. But what I'm saying, all things being equal, without the homeboy hookup, ain't nobody knocking down Chip Kelly door because he ain't that. He's the league has caught up with him, in my opinion. But that's not to say that he can't adjust, because I do think he has a good mind for calling plays. I do think so. I think he might have held back a little bit trying to sabotage his way to being the head coach. I think Because there was times, because like you said, when you break down the film, I could see a lot of things that the Raiders actually did good in the passing game. We just couldn't hold up blocking at this point, which is not a Chip Kelly thing at that point. It becomes a Brendan Carroll thing at that point. So I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
throwing it all on Chip Kelly. All I'm saying is Chip Kelly was about 50% of it. I'm gonna say Brendan was like 30% of it, and I'm gonna say that Geno Smith was like 20% of it. That's kind of how I look at it.
I think we all can agree, in my opinion. Okay, I think we all can agree that the league is coined it like the motto of the league could be, "What have you done for me lately?" That's literally what the league is, right? And so, at the end of the day, Chip Kelly may not have produced the Raiders, maybe not, or not maybe, like he did not, but give it 3 years. 3 years, it could bypass everything, and next thing you know, there's a struggling ass team that's like, holy shit, there's no other good, decent offensive coordinators available, but Chip Kelly has had found success in the past. Let's give him a whirl. Like the league is all about what have you done for me lately? And so the future of Chip Kelly, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But with that being said, and you can follow up with that, but I just want to say I appreciate it. Hey, shout out to Jack, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, 805. Good to see you, bro.
Black man, I appreciate you just throwing a link out there. I can jump on. Hey, I was just on my guy Severe. We're chopping it up, having a good time, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, I miss Severe too. I'm like, I miss him in Bakersfield this last year. It's like, the year before, hanging out with us. It's like, man, I hope Severe goes next year.
He will.
So what? So training camp coming up. Since I have you, if you got a couple minutes, unless you got to take off.
I got more than a minute, big dog. I'm ready.
Okay. So training camp coming up. What are you looking for? What are you looking for in training camp overall? Like what? Because some people are looking at this quarterback competition that I've been saying since April 3rd that is no quarterback competition. So I'm not looking at that. What are you looking at when you going into the camps? And that question for both you guys, but I mean, if you can answer first.
Hey, can I go for it? Can I go?
Oh, okay. 805. I got a bet for you, bro.
Don't do it again, man. Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
No, again, man, I look at the 0 tech, I look at the 1 tech, and I don't think there's anyone better. Butler's a great guy, and he's probably our best defensive end. So how about this, 805?
Let's hear it.
Let's make a bet. We'll do another, pitcher of beer. Okay. I think Lockie Tossi is going to, make this roster, and because all you're going to ask him to do is 0 or 1 tech, either side. I think Lockie Tossi is going to fucking play. Like, man, if you want someone on the goal line, I want him on the goal line because that's not asking much. That's not asking much. So for the nation, if you don't know, I lost the bet last year. I said JJ McGeese was going to get a, 1 touch in rushing, and he got 0, which I thought was kind of stupid. They should have given him to him because he had 12 touches and 7 first downs, and I don't know how many touchdowns he got off of it. So that's my bet to you, 805. You want to do it again?
Jack, don't make that bet, man.
Yeah, please don't.
You want to know why though?
No, I want to make the bet.
No, don't make that bet. I can't. I'm not gonna take the bet. You want to know why?
I don't care. It's like, I don't mind buying beers because, man, we had such a great time hanging out at the pool and everything else. I will do that bet because it's one of my favorite Raider players on the entire team is Lockie Tossi. When a guy's 6'6", 373 pounds, And that's all you're asking him to do.
But remember, though, Laki Tassi could potentially just make the roster as the international pathway player.
Right.
So he's
agreed.
Not spot. So you also have Tokyo Toe that could potentially make the roster. So Laki Tassi doesn't need to make a roster spot. So I'm not going to take that bet, Jack, that he makes the roster. He more likely could. Because I'm with you. Like, I'm a massive Laki Tassi fan. But I'm about to get the bet. I'm not, because Jack
8 of 5, which is kind of crazy. Is like, my wife and my kids are, my wife is Japanese, my kids are half and half, and it's like, the whole family's excited. They're not even Raider fans. None of them are Raider fans. Yeah. Not even my wife. And it's like, but they're excited because the Tokyo Toe, Mazi Kasawaza, it's like, a Japanese player who learned, like, how to kick from YouTube and now has the potential. And okay, then how about this? I will say,
you tell me that's who you looking at. That's what you're looking at in camp is the kickers. That is one.
Oh yeah, I think the Tokyo Toe will win the kicking battle versus Gay. I don't care for Gay. Gay's gone from team to team to team to team, and he's got 87%. Well, if that's the reason, we should have just resigned our kicker that we had. It makes no sense not to do that because he's better than him.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but his numbers was declining terribly. Like,
I agree, they're declining, but they're still like Matt Gay or him. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Tokyo Toe. But I have a bunch of family that's from Hawaii. I got a former uncle. I have an uncle that was a former coach for the University of Hawaii. That they're all rooting for Tokyo Toe. So I hope he makes the team. I'm with you.
I hope he does too.
So what are you looking at when you looking into camp? What's on your radar?
I got a lot, man. Honestly, because if you think about it, right? Camp will only show so much. We all know that us as normal, regular public people, there's only so much that we're gonna have visibility to, even as it relates to the beat writers, right? The beat writers are gonna they're gonna try to give us some stuff. And last year they gave us Deontay Thornton's gonna be Megatron. It's a joke.
That was terrible.
There's a couple things that, at least for myself, that I think you could possibly take from trying to understand the direction of the team with training camp is when everything's going to be fairly vanilla. But one of the things that I'm going to look for is obviously Brock Bowers is going to be the main target for Kirk Cousins. Yep. He's our number one target overall. But is there another receiver that Kirk Cousins has a little bit of chemistry with? Is he hitting a receiver more often? Okay, cool. If he's hitting a receiver more often, then maybe they're building chemistry, because I've always said this, longer than I've been on YouTube, is one of the things that is the most difficult for a quarterback is building chemistry with a receiver. And I always give the example of Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams can run a slant route 5 different ways depending on how the defense lines up on him. It's just dependent on whether the quarterback is on the same page as him. So if the corner wants to press him, if the corner wants to play inside shade, outside shade, press him off, whatever it may be, Devontae Adams is going to run that slant route 5 different ways. And so the quarterback has to understand that. So how do you gain chemistry? Chemistry and confidence is built through practice. It's built through repetition. And so I want to see, is Kirk Cousins going to be able to build chemistry or consistency with another receiver? Is it Jalen Naylor, a guy that we brought in as our free agent? Cool. Trey Tucker. Is it going to be Cedric Jackson? Maybe some of the sleepers that people talk about. In addition to that, I just want to look at the formations. What type of formations is Clint Kubiak really trying to run? Is he sticking to his 12 or 13 personnel? Are we seeing more tight ends on the field? How are they using Jack Besh? How are they actually using Brock Bowers? Is he going to show it enough? Because the reality is that during preseason or even training camp, they might not show everything. You're not going to show all your cards. But I just want to know, how you using Brock Bowers? Because we didn't go out and prioritize a receiver. We didn't go out and prioritize a number one receiver. Jalen Naylor, I think, is at best a good number two. Maybe they're going to use him as the number one. But how are you going to use Brock Bowers, a guy that is not a true hand-the-ground tight end, but could stand outside on the field side and actually run an X receiver route? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, those are things on offense. I got things on defense, but those are things on the offense that when it comes to training camp, I really want to look at. And then finally on offense is the rotation of the offensive linemen. Who's playing where? Who's getting the most reps? Is Trey Zoom? Is he actually being able to
Thank you 805 for saying that, man.
Because it's hard to determine exactly the progress that a player is making because we're not in the room with the coaches. We're not in the coaching rooms, right? We're not. But what indication we can get is, what does the rotation look like? And so we've already drafted Caleb Rogers third round last year. We have Charles Grant of the third round last year. We have Trey Zoom in this year's draft. Where do these guys end up playing? And that's probably something that I'm going to be watching out for. I have no clue what's going to happen, but I want to know how they're rocking with the rotation. So that's my takes on the offensive side.
Yeah, I feel like the Raiders are going to keep 9 on offensive linemen.
Good.
And I think Meredith's probably going to be the last one.
Don't do that, Jack. Don't do that, Jack.
Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because, okay, let's name them off. 9.
Meredith.
9.
That's too many.
Colton Miller.
Hold on before you go there, because if you keep 9 O linemen, we definitely can't keep 3 quarterbacks then. So
no, I feel like we're going to do both.
Or tight ends, or more receivers.
Yeah,
we didn't need to keep more than 3 tight ends. So,
but even okay, but go ahead. The 9 O linemen.
Okay, so the nation. Let's read it off. So you got Miller, right? And what 805, what you just said, it's again, I don't believe the guy we brought up from San Francisco. No, I think it's gonna be a backup.
Yeah.
So I think Zoom is going to be your left guard.
Okay,
and then you got of course.
Mine, Zoom's never played guard before, so just to assume that he's going to play guard is a little rough. But go for it.
Well, again, we're building, right? It's not a contention for a Super Bowl. It's a rebuild year. Zoom's played most of the offensive lineman positions. Yeah. So I think Zoom is going to be your left guard.
Okay. So, but he don't have a bunch of snaps there, is what he's saying, and then to expect him to actually start there without having a whole bunch of snaps there, that. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that's a big leap right there.
That is a big leap, and I kind of, Zoom with his great pass blocking, it's that's what you want for a quarterback, and again, we get the running backs later. Well, so, and then of course,
watching Zoom's tape, I like Zoom. I really do. It really is.
And I love that you love that because I watched your tape on, 2 years ago in Bakersfield on, my boy, my defensive tackle, and I saw your tape, and I'm like, fuck, man, it made me feel like I'm fucking feeling like shit.
Mason Graham. I know.
Yeah, Mason Graham. You know, bro.
Okay, so you got Trey Zoom, you got Colton Miller. Keep going.
And then, of course, you know, we all know who's going to center is going to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then,
That's
you know,
three.
right guard is JPJ.
Mhm.
And I don't even feel like, you know, Glaze is going to be starting. I feel like Glaze is not going to be starting. So this is just me. I feel like Charles Grant's going to fucking move over and, you know, try that position out. So that's going to be a battle, I think, there. So that's what 4. That's 5. And then you got, you know, backups is the guy we got from the Niners. We got, you know, Grant, or not Grant, but
Glaze,
Carlos
because you just took
Rogers.
him out of the contract. You just took him out of the starting, so you got to put Glaze there because he's going to make the
Yep.
team. So that's
Yep.
7.
7. So then you got Rogers.
That's
And
8.
And I feel like I'm missing one.
What, Jordan Meredith?
Meredith is number 9.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's number 9. It's like, you know, Meredith is man, if you look at, like, you know, Meredith, like, you know, 2 years ago versus last year, playing guard versus, you know, center, he was rated like number 17th overall. So, like, he was good at what he did, but he's not a good center. So it's like
Meredith.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's 9. It's like, you know, I'm keeping 9 on that offensive line. It's like that shows me it's deep. The Raiders invested a lot of picks on the offensive line. And this is what, you know, Raider Nation, like, you know, needs to know. It's like, man, we got 9 picks the year before. We got 10 picks right now. And nobody really got any playing time. It doesn't matter, offense, defense, whatever you've done. No one's got any playing time. So it's kind of like they're going to year 1 right now. So, yeah, 9 offensive linemen.
Don't press on me on Meredith.
Right.
I know you like Meredith.
Let me answer this question for Webb real quick. Is Naylor big enough to play the X receiver? So I don't know if he's big enough to play the X receiver, but what I do understand about Naylor is his separation rate for at that X position is the best that we have on this team. And actually it wasn't even that bad. So can he play the X position? He can probably play it. Now, if is he big enough? I don't know. Now, for me, big enough, I don't know if necessarily big enough is the metric I would necessarily use, but my metric I would use for an X receiver is does he have the ability to keep the safety true to his side of the field? Because the purpose of the X receiver no, a purpose of the X receiver is to keep the defense, the safeties back, so they don't cheat up. So, and if you don't, then you make them pay by taking the top off the defense. So, can he do that? I don't know. I mean, statistically, they say he can do it, but at the same time, a person who only getting 30 catches, no more than 35 catches in the season, it's hard for me to quantify him being that guy to be able to do that all year long like that. So I don't know. The jury is out. So I just think we're kind of it's a who's who right now. And I don't think we're going to be predicated on that because we'll just when we want to stretch the field, we can just stick Brock there. Although I don't like that so much, I just think that's what we're going to do. We're going to be just mixing and matching players all over the place.
Well, we don't have a true, like, you know, X. We have a Z. You know, again, that's what
Dante Thornton is. He's a true X. That's what he is.
No. I like Dante Thornton. Like, you know, a lot of people have given up on him. I haven't. I'm not one of them. But at the same time, he right now he needs to how to figure it out. Get off his man and go deep and get some separation, which he did not do last year.
Well, you didn't have time. We didn't have time.
But Black and the Z, it's you look at what Seattle did last year. And I think we got two guys that can potentially do that same type of moves, but we don't have that X. But, at the same time, no one in the league has a Brock Bowers at the same time. So this team can be explosive, but I feel like, this year in 2026, Spytek and, Kubiak and the whole nation's you kind of learn what's going on with the wide receivers. And after this year, if you haven't produced, then there's going to be changes done next year.
Well, of course. That's why I think that's why they're giving everybody. Look, we got two wide receivers out the draft last year that we really don't know what they're going to do. Rookie wide receivers, or really rookie players in general. Like that second year, if you give them a second, you got to give them a full training camp and in another year to see what they do, and that's what they're getting the opportunity to do. Because Dante Thornton, I mean, let's not forget that
I love Dante, man.
He closed the game out for us last year, in our first win, and so to think that he's not capable, I don't know yet. Because if you don't have time to throw the ball, it doesn't matter what he does when he run off the line of scrimmage, because we're not going to throw him the ball because we don't have enough time. So I don't know. I just think in this scheme we'll be able to get a more true idea of what he does, along with Besh. Now, if they don't perform this year, then we know what it is. We're getting a wide receiver in the draft next year.
Well, Black. You look at Dante, right? You look at. Not Dante, but you look at Besh. They drafted Besh because he's the same thing as I'm sorry, I get him mixed up. Not Michael Mayers, but Jacoby Myers. Man, the same thing. He never drops the ball. So he's bigger and stronger. So you're trying to get that guy to run the same type of run routes as him, but he doesn't run the routes like he does. So it's that's why they drafted him in the second round, and they did the trade backs. That's where the Raiders were hoping for. It's if we could get the same guy, and we don't have to pay him that $20 million a year. I mean, right now, as a Raiders fan, are you going to pay that guy $20 million a year? No, I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Well, I would have felt a lot better if we would have kept him. If we'd have kept Jacoby Myers and gave him the money, and he would have been the wide receiver coming into the wide receiver one.
He'd be number one. Absolutely.
I think we would be fine at wide receiver. My bad. I cut you off. 805. What you was about to say?
No, I just said. I just said. With Jack saying, expectation is very different than reality, and that's the hard part. Is we talk about our if we just want to talk about our receiver room and back to Frank Weber's question about our X receiver, there's no prototype of an X receiver. Like you could think an X receiver 6'4", 220 pounds, whatever it may be, but then you have a Jamar Chase or an Amon St. Brown or whatever. It's about the players that actually are able to execute within the system. And the problem is that we have not been able to identify that up to this point. We wish we could have. We've had opportunity the last couple of years, at least last few years. We've had opportunity to be able to possibly get a number one receiver, a true number one receiver, whether it be through free agency or through the draft. But as it stands right now, we're hoping that Jalen Naylor ends up being that true number one. And I think that Jalen Naylor is going to be treated like the true number one. I think that you go out, you get him in free agency. Clint Kubiak has history with him. Kirk Cousins has history with him. I think they think that they're going to be able to maneuver him as a true number one and use Brock Bowers, obviously a compliment off of that. But it remains to be seen how it's going to work. I think that's the biggest thing is the concept on paper's right, but at the end of the day, can it result to wins?
Yeah, how do you execute it? Yeah. Yeah. I just think I don't know. I think Dante Thornton gonna be fine in this offense. I
Well,
think Bush gonna
I'm
be fine
Black.
in this
I'm rooting for
offense.
that kid, man.
I don't
I
think I don't
really
know
like
how
it.
well.
6'5", 4.30 40. Absolutely, dude. He could be that kid. You know what? I want to remind like everyone in the nation as being an older man in the chat. It took Cliff Branch until year number 3 to get it. It took Cliff Branch to year number 3 to get it. And now it's an HOF Hall of Fame jacket. Cliff Branch didn't do crap. You look up his stats. He didn't do really anything until year number 3. And then afterwards, he took off, and now he was like one of the best wide receivers, and he changed the NFL. He changed the NFL. Wide receivers, man, he ran, what, a 4.21?
I mean, the only thing I'll say is, Jack, man, I love you, man. Like, with the history and everything, the history is great. The tough part is that we have struggled so long to put things together properly.
Agreed.
That as much as we can reference back to history and this is what worked and that what worked, it's like it's so different nowadays. And I wish it could remain the same. I wish that we can like replicate the history and we can end up being like, Super Bowl champions day in, day out. But like, this is why we found ourselves in such a hole. And we can go back and point to numerous things that may not have been the right decision. But man, as much as I have so many question marks on the future, I hope it's right, Jack. I really do. I hope it's right. I hope it works out, and I hope at the end of the day, we find ourselves in a Super Bowl.
805 and Black. It's like the way I look at it, it's like it's not even so much the players. It's about changing coaching schemes every year. And you need different players to play the different roles in every single position what you want to do. So, now we're going to the wide scheme. That's why I said I mentioned off like 9 players on the offensive line, the best ones. But it's like every year it's like if there's a different scheme in the NFL, it's like it's not like any other team in sport. It's not like baseball, basketball, hockey. I mean, it's 53 players getting on the same page and working your magic. That's why, the NFL is like says, not for long. It's like, goddamn, it's like, you need a lot to become a Super Bowl champion. So it's like, it is so tough because you have so many fucking players on one team and everyone's different and every coaching style and every coach you have looks for something different in what you bring to the table.
Well, Jack, this might get in the weeds of things a little bit, but I'm with you because there are specific things that organization needs in order to find success. It's a great foundation and it's consistency. if you don't have consistency and you don't have a good foundation, there's a really good chance you're not going to find success.
Right. Look at McVay.
Well, and it's something that the Raiders have never been able to establish or provide to their players. And so when we talk about our players, it's not shocking when we draft a player and they go on and find success elsewhere. It happens all the time. And so that is probably one of the most brutal things to realize or see as a Raider fan is the fact that our players, they don't find success because we don't give them the right platform or the right foundation to find success. And that's where a lot of us just argue and bicker back and forth. And when we have been so bad for so long, it also allows everybody to become the expert. You know, everybody ends up knowing what this is the right solution. We should have done this. We should have done that. And when it leaves the door open to everybody thinking they have the right answer, you know, that this is where we sit. And so, you know, Jack, you know how I feel about Mendoza, but I hope that he is right. I hope he's right.
I hope so too, bro.
He is what people think he's going to be. And man, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do it.
But, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, I love 805, you know, I'm on the same page with you and Mendoza, but you're not going to have greatness with any quarterback unless you have great coaches. And I look at it like the great words of Al Davis, like, you know, you have great coaches, you have great foundation, and you have great players, and this is how you win it. It's like, so you got to have all of it. You can't have one part of it. You got to have all of it. And when the team, it's got 53 men, 53 huge, big, athletic men. I mean, they're not like, you know, tiny little dudes or anything like that. But it takes all of them to, like, you know, come together and have that one moment in time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at where the Steelers were so lucky. If I remember correctly, the Steelers are so lucky that Carson Palmer got hurt. Back in the day when they met them in the playoffs, and the Carson Palmer and his Bengals, they were actually on a roll. The Steelers lost because Carson Palmer got hurt like the first series, the first drive, something like that. And then went on to win the Super Bowl. Like, everything is there's luck that also plays into a lot of it. But at the end of the day, there's also, I'm not gonna lie, like true evaluation of players. And if true evaluation of players never stood a role, then the Jamarcus Russells never would have happened. And I think that's what is. I'm not saying Mendoza is Jamarcus Russell. I'm not saying that. Don't get all crazy, Chad.
Don't conflate it, huh?
Yeah, it's like, it's like, I look at, like, what was it, the 76 with the 76 when we had 9 Hall of Fame players on the team and we're playing the Steelers. So it's 805, you brought up the Steelers. So wasn't like Luke Rodney, like, out, and the backup running back was out, and we beat them to go to the World Championship Series. It's like, they're both starting running backs were out.
That was actually much longer before my time, man.
Oh, man. I was there, bro. So, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, man, 2 starting running backs out. I don't know if Luke Rodney is like a Hall of Fame player or not, but I remember that, those times, like, man, I'm like, you go against a playoff team and your best 2 running backs are out, and you have 9 Hall of Fame players on one team, which is like the most Hall of Fame players on any team in NFL history, 9. And to win that game, it's like, I felt fucking happy, so happy about it. And I'm like, I don't even care, dude. It's kind of like let it be the Franco Harris, immaculate, catch, or Tom Brady's fucking tuck rule shit. But you win the game, or the holy roller against the Chargers. It's like, if you win the game, you win the game.
No, I'm with you, but when we get to where we need to be right now as a franchise, as a winning organization, man, I hope we get there. And
how many wins you have us this year? Then I mean, you just project. You think
for me?
Just
let's do this. I'm going to preface this. Last year, my ceiling was 5. My floor was 3.
Oh, you were smart.